I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while sizzling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocker in Nick's universe. Your main man, Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let's set it off. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Let's go. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Scream. Let's go. What's good, party people? Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. I'm your main man, Uncle Freeze. We got a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot of things out here in Knicks universe that we need to discuss. There's a lot of things out here in Knicks universe that we need to discuss, man. When is this Donovan Mitchell deal going to get done? Is Julius Randle primed for his every other year breakout? Bad Julius, good Julius, bad Julius, good Julius, bad Julius. Good Julius. Is Tom Thibodeau the long-term answer at coach for this team? Is Tom Thibodeau the coach for a Jalen Brunson, potentially Donovan Mitchell backcourt? If we get Donovan Mitchell, will Donovan Mitchell get that first year bump from Tom Thibodeau? And you saw it. The bump. The Tom Thibodeau bump is a real thing. And I know y'all, and listen, in February, people are going to be saying this to y'all, and y'all are going to be like, nah, don't try to copy. Uncle Freezy talked about this back in July. Like Farron Hunt. Uncle Freezy talked about Farron Hunt in July. Uncle Freezy talked about Trevor Keels back in June. Uncle Freezy called Quentin Grimes a ham sandwich. Uncle Freezy said, if the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, he may be the league MVP working with Tibbs in his first season. I feel strongly enough to say that I can almost guarantee it. But the information states that guys like Donovan Mitchell that are super mega talented get that Tom Thibodeau bump the first year they're together. This Tibbs bump is a real thing. The Tibbs sustainability is not. The Tibbs bump is a real thing. The Tibbs bump is a real thing. You saw it with Derrick Rose. You saw it with Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. Right? You saw it with Julius Randle. And if Donovan Mitchell comes here, see, I believe in trends. I look at data. I don't, man, listen, people, yo, man, the eye test. I go by what my eyes tell, the eye test. Okay. But every mall in America has an optometrist. You know why? You know why? Because a lot of people fail the eye test. So we want to go by data. We want to go by data. We want to use data. We want to use data. We want to use something that we can go by to prove a point. Or we want to go by something that we can identify as a trend. Did Tom Thibodeau coach Derrick Rose to the league MVP? Yes. Did Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins get better when Tibbs showed up in Minnesota? Yes. Did Julius Randle win the most improved player, become a first-time All-Star, and finish 8th in the league MVP voting? Yes. Now, are you telling me that Donovan Mitchell, who is just as talented or maybe more than all of those guys, are not going to get the Tom Thibodeau bump? The proof is out there. You've seen it. Basketball heads have seen it. They may not have connected the dots. But they've seen all these individual things happen. They saw Julius Randle under Tibbs. First year under Tibbs, Julius Randle is the NBA's most improved player. In New York City, he's the most improved player. He's a first-time All-Star. He finished 8th in MVP voting. First year with Tibbs. You saw the improvement of a big that can score in Karl Anthony Towns and a wing player that couldn't figure it out in Andrew Wiggins. You saw both of them get better under Tom Thibodeau. You saw a 6'2" athletic freak and Derrick Rose win the league MVP under Tom Thibodeau. And Knicks fans, your coach is Tom Thibodeau. And if you get Donovan Mitchell, I'm telling you, the Tibbs bump is real. The Tibbs bump is real. Now, how long that bump lasts is always the topic of conversation. Tom Thibodeau drives us batty because he tantalizes us with the first year bump and then does not have the energy to continue that wave. The Tibbs bump is real. The Tibbs bump is real. Paris Duggan, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggan says data is based on a presenter's motive. Data can lie. Right. Okay. Numbers lie. Right. You're right. Numbers and awards lie. I got you. Numbers and awards lie. I get it. I get it. Derrick Rose winning the league MVP can't be a lie to some people. Julius Randle winning the most improved player, finishing 8th in the MVP, first time All-Star, most improved player. I understand how that can be deceptive. Derrick Rose holding up an MVP trophy can be deceptive to some people. Julius Randle wearing an All-Star uniform. Julius Randle becoming a first-time All-Star can be deceptive to some people. Chop Lowe's in the building. Let me shout out the chat because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. And these, how long we rocking? How long we rocking today? How long y'all want to rock? It's 10:31 on the East Coast, right? How long y'all want to rock? Y'all want to rock super long today? No game today, right? Y'all want to just rock super long today? Chat, let me know. Chat, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know how long y'all want to rock. Let me know how long y'all want to rock. Man-child was good. Man-child was good. Man-child says Rose was a generational player before injuries. Is Donovan Mitchell a generational player? Should we compare numbers? Tiffin Smith, Tiffin Smith says, hey, let's rock all day. Let's rock all day. Tiffin Smith says, let's rock all day. Keith Turner's in the building. What's good? Keith Turner says, I hope this trade does like this. Grimes, Fournier, Cam, and 5 first-round picks. This gets the deal done. Chop Lowe's in the building. Chop says marathon. Well, Chop, listen, if it's a marathon for me, it got to be a marathon for you. What's good? Julian Blum is in the building. What's good? Let me shout out everybody before I get into all these topics, right? Slithery Man is in the building. Con Man. Miss Geraldine. How you doing? Kev Guapo. Somebody, hey, in order for Chuck to be laughing, somebody must have said 12. There it is. Chuck, hey, Julian Blum said 12 hours. Hey, Jamie Peralta. JP says till 7 o'clock. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. What's good? We surveyed. This is one of the dopest names on YouTube, like the Family Feud thing. We surveyed 100 Knicks fans. We surveyed 100 Knicks fans. Top 8 answers are on the board. In my Steve Harvey voice. Paris Duggar. Hey, listen, y'all. I love Paris Duggar. Right? I love Paris. And listen, and here's the reason why. Get straight to the point. Paris Duggar don't be coming at me like, well, Uncle Freezy, let me ask you a question. And then get into like a 30-minute soliloquy and then throw a question at the end. Get straight to the point. Oh, Hey, when you get to a certain age, you just think differently, bro. Hardwell is in the building. What's good? Oh, you a Knicks pod is in the building. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, listen. Oh, somebody in trouble, man. If Knicks pod is in the building, somebody's in trouble, man. Okay. All right, so I better be on my A game and best behavior today. Almighty Finesse, what's good? I got to be on my best behavior and on my A game at the same time because OU and Knicks podcast is in the building. So I got to be good and smart at the same time. Andrew College, what's good? Real King is in the building. Kanye Pepper, what's good? Mr. Chill. What's good, y'all? Chuck Allen in the building. What's good? All right. I think I missed somebody. Not Zay is in the building. What's good? I got to call Rod the Nick in a few minutes, too. Y'all, I got to call Rod the Nick because he told me to call him. And you know if I don't call him, you know he's going to be on here like, Uncle Freezy, you said you was going to call me. Yeah. Ryan Green is in the building. What's good with y'all? G. Robinson is in the Danny Landis is in the building. Top Notch T is in the building. What's good? Jay from the 718 is in the building. Jay from the 718 says, it was reported this morning Utah asked for 6 first-round picks plus Grimes, quickly, Obi Toppin, and Miles McBride. Claude have mercy. They bugging. They bugging, bro. They bugging. So let me get to these topics, all of these topics that are floating out here in the air. All these topics that are floating out here in the air, let me get to them. Let me address them. I'm going to just pluck them out of the air and put them somewhere so we can either talk about them or not. 27 was good. Wacko was good. Let me pluck all these topics out of the air, right? And then we can get to them, man. Let's get to them, right? So for one, I am delighted to have found the Iceman Cometh poster. Anybody in here like 50 plus? Anybody in the chat like 50 plus years old? And remember the first Nike poster that you could remember? That's the first Nike poster I can remember. The Iceman Cometh. And I was like, yo, I don't care what team he played for. I know he played for the Spurs. I know that. But, yo, the Iceman Cometh poster was like the dopest joint that you could get when you was a kid coming up in the 70s. The Iceman Cometh. Right? Because we was like, yo, who was Iceman? Who was Iceman? Who was Iceman? And they would show him doing a finger roll over Kareem. Like he'll see Kareem and Kareem will come out there with bad intentions and Iceman will finger roll that thing. Or he'll flip that finger roll over Kareem and Kareem would damn near come out of his Adidas to try to block it and miss it by that much. And it'll be in the air forever and come straight down in the nothing but net. Nothing but net. Right? Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. But I just want to say shout out to all my 50-somethings in the chat. Mad love to y'all. Because y'all been in this game for so long. Y'all understand where I be coming from sometimes. Like sometimes I just want to pat the brakes and just slow down and analyze. Things be moving too fast. They be moving too fast, too fast, too fast. I'm like, wait a minute, slow down, slow down, man. Right? Things be moving too fast. Like all these things going on. I'm gonna say, hey, easy, slow down. Let's take this thing one thing at a time. Let's take this thing because listen, I watch other content creators, and I'm not knocking them because they do great work. Great work. Just chatted, just had a short chat on social media with Jonathan Macri, like no lie, like maybe an hour ago. Just a little short back and forth, nothing major. Shout out to Nick's Film School. Shout out to Mac and all them dudes over there. They growing so fast. Over there. Shout out to them for doing great work. Right? But the point I'm getting at is our ages and experiences and things kind of force us to look at things a different way. And I'm like, man, let's just think about stuff before we jump out the window. Just let's think about some stuff. Right? And so that's why I always shout out to 50-somethings, because when I reference this era, the Iceman Cometh era, the Clyde Frazier era, them 50-somethings know what I be talking about. Shout out to everybody, because all y'all my people. We just different ages and different ranges and all that stuff. Right. Paris Decker says Gervin was as good as KD. Facts. Silky smooth. And that outfit that he got on in his poster is the outfit that all the little shorties in the 70s, early 80s, that's what we want to wear. The track suits, you know what I'm saying? The high top Nikes, boy, you was something. Michael Parker, thank you for the generous contribution. Michael Parker says Spider Mitchell will be a Knick by early next week. This live stream will probably still be rocking early next week too. Choplo want me to stay on the whole day. Ryan Green says, Freezy, need some fish in that tank. Yeah. I'm just letting it rock for right now. I'm just trying to. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. But listen, I need some suggestions, because I hadn't done an aquarium in so long. I hadn't done an aquarium since I've been in this house, and I've been in here for about Mo. How long we been in here? About 10 years. Yeah. So I know it's been longer than 10 years. It might have been like 15 years since last time I did an aquarium. Danny Landis says shell top Adidas. Yankees fans forever says Knicks are finally playing chess. Finally. So let me get to these storylines, right? Because what's happening is this. We have so many storylines going on at once that storylines are not getting their proper due. Maybe I should write them down as we go. That's what we'll do. We'll type them down as we go. We'll type them down as we go. And then that way we can. All right. First, Donovan. Mitchell trade. That's one. 2 is Julius Randle. Bounce back every other season. Is Quentin Grimes better than RJ Barrett long term? Should we keep an eye on Jalen Brunson's production? Hey, let's stop right there. Hey, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. So we said the Tom Thibodeau bump is real, right? And I mentioned it for Donovan Mitchell. But I never thought about it for how about now? How I sound now? Microphone check, microphone checker, microphone check, microphone checker, microphone check, microphone checker. How we sound now? I'm dope on YouTube. Okay, all right. Yeah, YouTube is saying I'm good. Okay. So I mentioned the Tibbs bump for Donovan Mitchell, but I didn't mention it for Jalen Brunson because it never crossed my mind. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. But yo, Romelio Aviles was good. Was good. Hey, exactly. Hey, yo, Cap. Hey, no cap. This is what we do. I'm just about to get into it. And listen, pardon me for excluding Brunson. I didn't do that intentionally. Right? The thing is, when you have so many storylines going on at once, when you got so many things in the atmosphere, sometimes you forget stuff or overlook stuff, and I shouldn't. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Tibbs bump and Jalen Brunson. Just real quick. I had it when I was typing it just now. I was like, oh, snap. We ain't even talked about that. We talked about every other thing, but we didn't talk about the Tibbs bump with Jalen Brunson. So if you're new here, and a lot of y'all are, and you hadn't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, please. Subscribe, right? Not because I want to say, hey, man, I got 200 subscribers, but because we want you guys to add to the conversation. We want you guys to be in this family loop of Knicks fans that thrive on pushing the envelope when it comes to conversation. In our selfish way, we want others to join us in talking about all things Knicks. And don't get it twisted. This is a Knicks fans channel. Y'all will see that in a few minutes when I open up the chat. Knicks fans drive this channel. And do we always agree? No. Do I make people agree with me? No. Definitely not. But what we are, though, is a Knicks community. That's what we are. The Jalen Brunson, Tom Thibodeau bump. Guys, let me ask y'all this. How good do you think Jalen Brunson can be if he reaches his max potential? If Jalen Brunson reaches his max potential, how good can he be? Y'all heard me. I'm asking y'all. I know y'all got an opinion on it. Share it. How good can Jalen Brunson be if he reaches his max potential? Mississippi Dog is in the building. What's good? I love that name. I love it. Mississippi Dog says 6 or 7 picks. My Lakers only gave up 3 for AD. Stephen A is going to hurt himself after this trade. So, so, no disrespect to Mississippi Dog, but so, yeah, man. How good can Jalen Brunson be if he reaches max potential? This is my question to you guys, and I know you have an opinion. Share it. Share your opinion. How good can this kid be? "27 says 4-time All-Star. Mathman Evolved says he will be a superstar. White Falcon says we have to see. DP says maybe Kyle Lowry level. Knicks Pod says 24, 5, and 3 every game. Or per game, I'm sorry. Justin Smith says Brunson can be a tougher Damon Stoudemire. Wow, that name was a blast from the past. Slithery Man says Brunson will be a Reggie Jackson type player. Salute. Sell next day, salute. Flipper. Salute. Chuck Allen says Nick Van Exel. Chef NYK says All-Star easily. The best he can be is Kyle Lowry. Yeah, I don't know why I always want to say Kyle Lowry. I don't know why I always want to say that, Kyle Lowry. Right? Isaiah Thomas? Which Isaiah Thomas you talking about? Which Isaiah you talking about? So Margaret Edwards says, let's reverse the question. If Deuce reach his max, I want to get to that. I want to get to that. I got to get to that. That's one. I want to talk about the Duke. I wanted to talk about the summer league kids after the summer league is over. It's the reason why I hadn't brought them up, because I don't want to judge them in the moment. Right? I'm not throwing away the question. I just want to get more info. When you get, I don't want to judge them in the moment. Look at that turnover. That turnover was bad. I don't want to be. I don't want to do that. Man, we got a lot of replies here. Jay Boogie, what's good? Jay Boogie says, AM to the AM. Good morning, chat. Bless health, safety to all y'all. Hit that like button. Happy Friday. Look in the mirror. Love and appreciate the person that you see. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Jay Boogie, I appreciate you making my morning by sending me that Nas joint. The Nas joint made my day, bro. That joint made my day. Harlem Girl, what's good? Yeah, man, we got a lot of suggestions here. Oh, it's Mothman, not Mathman. I'm sorry. My bad. It's a mistake of the mind, not the heart. It's the mistake of the mind, not the heart. Maybe it's these glasses. All right. So here's the thing. If I stand up here and preach that there's a such thing as a Tom Thibodeau bump in the first year, and I say this for Donovan Mitchell, I would be a hypocrite to say it doesn't apply to Jalen Brunson. I'd be a hypocrite, right? I'd be a hypocrite, right? I'd be a hypocrite to say that Tom Thibodeau with talent in the first year makes a player better. And then say Jalen Brunson is going to be a dud. I'd be a hypocrite. Yo, look at this. Rayology is in the building. What's good, Ray? Rayology, you got to start answering text messages, bro. Ray, you got to start answering text messages, bro. What's your record prediction for next year if we can get Mitchell? I want to get to that too. Here's the thing. I think Brunson under Tibbs is probably in the first year, probably about 19-7 on great efficiency. I think I'm looking at, so here's the number, right? Here is the thing that's going to blow y'all away. I think with Brunson and Mitchell and RJ and Julius and Mitch are a top 7 offense and a top 7 defense. a top 7 offense, and a top 7 defense. A top 7 offense and a top 7 defense. I think the team with Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson is going to have 2 All-Stars for sure. I just don't know which ones yet. And here's why. I know Donovan Mitchell is one for sure. I don't know who the second one is. Shout out to Paris Duggar. Paris Duggar says, not training my gonna bees for supposed bees. Mitch and KD. I got you. Let's say it like this. Donovan Mitchell is an all-star in any conference, right? He played in the tougher defensive conference and averaged about 26 a game, right? Now he'll come to the Eastern Conference on a better team or a team that better fits him. Let me say it that way, right? A team that better fits him, right? I think the Knicks will send 2 people to the All-Star team, to All-Star game. I think the Knicks will be a top 7 offense. I'm speculating, right? I'm looking at how Tom Thibodeau ran his offense with the addition of a pick and roll ball handler that's effective, plus a wing scorer in Donovan Mitchell, plus how that alleviates the pressure on RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. And so what I'm looking at is an offense that goes from a bunch of clunky parts to one that's refined. I think RJ Barrett and Julius Randle are going to be the benefactor of easier shots during the game. And I'm not saying all night long. This ain't Lionel Richie. I'm not getting ready to get into a Lionel Richie bag and say that Julius and RJ are going to be the benefactor of easy shots all night long. But what I'm saying is say RJ, first of all, RJ is not going to be shooting 20 shots a game anymore. The dogs are trying to take over I thought the dogs were trying to take over. I heard a bang in there. I didn't know it was going. So I think RJ and Julius will benefit from 3 or 4 chippies per game because Jalen Brunson can pass the basketball. Donovan Mitchell can pass the basketball, right? And here's the thing. People think that Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson
are going to play 48 minutes together. They won't. You'll see Mitchell go to the bench. You'll see RJ at the 2, right? You'll see Brunson and RJ. You'll see a Brunson and RJ backcourt. You'll see a Spider and RJ backcourt, right? You'll see some Randall at the 5 in small lineups. You know, depending on there are a lot of things that this offense presents a lot of weaponry. A lot of weaponry, man. Celtics access was good. How you doing? Celtics access says Mitchell play no defense. Y'all lucky y'all didn't get him. Yeah. Says the Celtics fan. Says the Celtics fan. Shout out to the Celtics fan, yo. So how this chat goes, I don't know if the chat knows, but we have Raptors fans, Timberwolves fans, Lakers fans. Let me see. Raptors, Timberwolves, Lakers. It's just a bunch of it's a Knicks chat, but it's like an NBA chat too. Right? Let me do this thing right here because I don't want to just take it over. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Yeah, Bulls fans too. It's a bunch of fans from a lot of other fan bases, man, and we enjoy having it. Warriors fans too. I meant to say Warriors fans also. Celtics access says, I'll admit I'm used to defense only. You know, Spider is good though. I just wouldn't trade Obi and RJ for him. Nah, I don't think so either. What did Joe Madden say? Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, this year with Brunson, RJ 23 points a game, Randall 20 and 10, OB 20 and okay. Thank you for that, man. You, what's up, Chuck?
Yes, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, good, man. Good, man. Good. Woke up this morning, man. Energetic, upbeat, man. Glad to hear these things about the Knicks. I was so excited to get to the order of business that I didn't even quote a great American poet this morning.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I'll quote the great American poet Prodigy. Prodigy says, and this is to all the NBA fans that think the Knicks are going to be the 6th seed in the East. I got a surprise for you. This is a quote from the great American poet Prodigy. Prodigy says, there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook because there's no such thing as halfway crooks. That was a quote by the great American poet Prodigy. Eli M is in the building. What's good? Evergreen, what's good, bro?
What's poppin'? How you? What's poppin'?
Good, man.
Chuck, what's good, baby? How y'all good? Y'all good?
Yeah, yes, man. Sir. Glad you made it back safe off your trip, bro.
Yeah, man. It was a tough drive, bro. It was tough as hell, but you know, we back. We back good. Live in full effect.
Hey, when's the last time you posted something on TikTok?
I posted a bunch yesterday.
Okay. Y'all check out Evergreen G on TikTok.
I'm super heavy on TikTok.
Yeah,
just about 50K strong, you know. We working, teaching the people. And then this is my oasis. This is the Nick stuff is my getaway from the teaching, where we get to talk and discuss carnal things, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know? So
I'm about to get carnal in a minute. I got this vegan bacon. I'm about to get real carnal.
I just had some chicken cordon bleu, but not with the ham in it. You know, with the one with the cheese and broccoli. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Made like the cordon bleu. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, man. Hey, so Evergreen G, I'm gonna just get straight down to the order of business. I wanted to talk about the Jalen Brunson bump from Tom Thibodeau, but I think I want to save that for later. I think I want to shelf that and ask you this: is Quentin Grimes a better player than RJ Barrett long term?
No, I'll cut you off now. No, he's not better.
Evergreen, is Quentin Grimes a better player than RJ Barrett long term?
No, I don't have enough information to make that assessment. So I'm just gonna go with the latter and say no.
Who plays the better defense?
Who plays the better
Grimes.
Who
has a better 3-point shot?
I can't say that because whom has Quentin Grimes defended out of starters consistently? The answer is nobody, because he comes off the bench. So yeah, his defense looks damn good, but we got to remember that he's playing against bench players. So the answer is nobody.
He did all right against Chris Middleton.
Okay, keep going. Give me some more. Did he guard Bradley Beal? No.
No, I'm not going to go that far.
No. Did he guard? The list goes on. Name all your best 2s and 3s in the league. Did he guard them? No. He guarded one guy really good. All right, so I'm cool to say he's a good defender for what he's defending, which is guys off the bench. But for me to make this assessment and say, oh yeah, it's accurate that Quentin Grimes is better than RJ Barrett right now, I'd be a liar.
But what about long term though?
I can't make that assessment because I don't have enough data. I don't have nothing to really compare it to right now. I got a season. If anything, you say half a season, because he started a few games, but most of the games he's coming off the bench. RJ's been a starter since he came into the league. So I'd be lying to say long term. That's speculation. That's not
Evergreen.
If
you take emotion out of it, and look at data, you can. I'm not saying that he is. I'm asking a question. So guys and gals, listen. I'm not saying that he's better. I'm asking the question. Right? I'm asking the question, will he be better than RJ Barrett long term? And if you look at the base that Quentin Grimes has versus the base that RJ has, one could assume that that Quentin Grimes is starting at a better position.
Freezy,
better defense.
That's a fictitious base. It's not a same
These are facts. Dude. His defensive rating is 105 in 17 minutes a game.
He's playing against second-tier players. He's playing against benches. It's not the same, Freezy. You're going to tell me?
Evergreen, so you're missing my point. What I'm telling you is that I understand where you're coming from, but I use the word base. All I can go by is what that young man has done so far.
Right, and you got to compare the bases, and the bases aren't the same. The bases are RJ's playing against starters, and the base for Quentin Grimes is he's playing against a totally different group of people. It's not the same. It's like when you use the word base, you have to make sure that it's the same on both sides of the experiment. That's what the purpose of the base is. And the same side of the experiment aren't there with this case. It's not there.
Evergreen. So the base I'm using is RJ Barrett's rookie year defensive rating versus Quentin Grimes' first year defensive rating.
Right. And what is that rating predicated off of, Big Freezy?
StatMuse. StatMuse.
No. I'm not saying where's the source coming from. I'm saying his defensive rating. How did they calculate his defensive rating?
Okay.
Based off of players
I'm
he
gonna
went against, right?
put it on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put it on the screen for those that don't know, because you and I know, right? You and I know, right? But I'm gonna put it on the screen so everybody else will know how defensive rating is measured.
Well, I'm not even gonna say devil's advocate, but Quentin Grimes at the 2 guard position, his skill set, in my opinion, from the shooting and defensive aspect is a little bit ahead of what RJ was when he came in, because that was one thing that we said he needed to work on in the offseason, which he did, was get better at shooting. Then we said, RJ needs to get better at shooting off the dribble. And then the next year he came in with that a part of his repertoire. So I'm thinking long term, if Quentin Grimes already comes in able to shoot and to defend at a really good level, or at least at an NBA level off the rip, I think long term he could be a very good player, especially if RJ doesn't take another step this year.
Right. So I mean that's cool to say. I mean I'm all about it, but for me to say, you know what I mean, is Quentin Grimes better than RJ long term, and making it off of evidence and things that I see now? Like I can't we can't do that. Like I mean, let me get this. Let me say this again. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, and you can say what you want to say, but whether it's going to have any merit in truth or not, it's not real, bro. Like all right, let's do. Just as hold on, I can't see what that says. Let me see if I can turn my phone sideways. There we go. Just as Oliver's offensive rating represents points produced by the player per 100 possessions consumed, his defensive rating estimates how many points the player allowed per 100 possessions he individually faced while on the court. Now, very important, that point right there. 100 possessions he individually faced while on the court. Who was he facing? The core of the defensive rating calculation is the concept of the individual defensive stop. Who was he stopping? Stops
versus the baskets
the
made.
instance of the player ending in opposing possession that are tracked in the box score, blocks, steals, and defensive rebounds. In addition to an estimate for the number of forced turnovers, who is he stealing the ball from, who is he deflecting passes from, and forced misses by the player, which aren't captured by the steals and blocks. The formula for stops.
All right, hold on. Let me scroll down. Hold on. Stop right there. Let me scroll down. All right. So the formula for stops is stops equals stops 1 plus stops 2 and where. Right? This is the formula right here. Right? I'm not getting ready to try to break all of that down.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want to try to break all of that down. But this is the same unit of measure for every NBA player.
Sure.
Right? So everybody is judged by this. So it's not a scale tilted in one direction or another.
Sure.
Right? Like the assist stat is weighed heavily to more, in my opinion, the assist stat is weighed more towards guards because it's easier to see those things from the official scorers table, whereas as assists by bigs, if it don't look like an assist, they're not going to give it to them.
Okay, now the fact still remains that RJ Barrett is playing against better players. So even when you consider this, no matter what the definition states, no matter how it's analyzed and broken down, no matter how many different metrics and formulas you want to use, RJ is playing against starters and Quentin Grimes is not. So until we get some type of legitimate data that shows Quentin Grimes playing against the same players that RJ Barrett had, at least for another 2 years, right? Let's say we get it for 1 year, right? Let's say we get it for 1 year and Quentin Grimes is indeed a starter, right? We don't get Donovan and all that stuff. Quentin Grimes is a starter. RJ Barrett's at the 3, right? We know that RJ spent a whole bunch of time at the 2, for 2 years, so on and so forth. And Quentin Grimes does better or does the same. Now we have something to measure. And now we can argue and debate all day about who's going to be better long-term as a 2 guard. But then again, that would be irrelevant because we know if we're playing Quentin Grimes at the 2, then RJ Barrett's going to be the 3. So it's like you're comparing these unnecessary positions that don't do the exact same thing.
Okay.
What?
So what if we change the narrative to just skill set?
Skill set, yeah.
Not even position, just skill set.
What skills are we talking about? Are we talking about
dribbling, shooting, defending?
I would say dribbling. Dribbling, yes, that's something that we can clearly see. Shooting is also we would have to really break down shooting. And the reason you break down shooting, we can say, wide open shots. Wide open shots, there's no defender in your face. You're not worried about, like, we can compare RJ Barrett's wide open shots versus Quentin Grimes' wide open shots. But when we're talking about shots where there's a defender on him off the dribble, someone's in his face, et cetera, that's even going to be also a hard metric because we know that RJ Barrett is playing against better players right now. So the only one that I would see that you can really compare shooting is free throws and wide open shots. Dribbling, we can see dribbling, that we can see that right away. Who's got a better handle? Clearly, Quentin Grimes has got a better handle. Clearly, right? He's played point guard. That was his high school position. We can see that right now. So, but what other skill set? Like who's got a better drive to the basket? Who can finish better at the basket? Who can finish better under contact? Right? Like skill set is a very vague term. We got to break that all the way down, and we got to deal with it with all of its metrics and all of the analytics that come with that. And trust me, we know that in this day and age, there's a ton of analytics that would show that. But we can't start comparing the analytics until we get some type of data that shows Quentin Grimes playing against the same players that RJ's playing against.
That's fair. I ain't mad at that. That's fair. What you think, Jay Boogie? I see you got your hand on your chin. What you think?
Oh, Jay Boogie's here. Jay Boogie, what's popping?
What's going on? Good morning, my brothers. Shout out to the Sarge right there. Matter of fact, shout out to all the Sarge, even the Sarge that's in Kansas City too. Shout out to all y'all sergeants and great men, you know what I'm saying, doing what y'all doing in them services, doing what you did in the services, and you still hitting us, you know what I'm saying, with the community services, whether we talk about Knicks or whatever. But shout out to the chat too, everybody in rocking the orange and blue. Big time win last night. I'm on the tail end of what y'all saying, but me, I like, you know what I'm saying, what Evergreen just said, far as hard to compare because they match up against different players. But if Grimes was in that position where RJ was in and he was playing against those same players, I would have to see what Grimes do in his second year against those same guys. Because I seen where RJ struggled at times with Jimmy Butler. But then the following year, which was last year, I seen him also give him the business. So I can't hold Grimes for the first year because RJ struggled against some of them guys his first year, but his second year against them guys and knowing them and learning them and getting stronger in his game, he was able to pretty much, hold his own and give them a fight. But they got different skill sets. And like, of course, you said the handle, Grimes got a sicker handle, But with that jump shot, the pull-up shot, or somebody in their face, I get that edge to Grimes because Grimes is going to get more contested shots than, you know what I'm saying, than RJ. People are going to fall off RJ because they want him to shoot that shot. They want him to prove it. So as far as shooting the rock, you know, I'm going to get at the Grimes too. But when it comes to going to that basket and having heart and finishing and all that, I got to get at the RJ. But I still can't say that he might have a better, you know what I'm saying, future than what RJ is, you know what I'm saying? If that's what y'all talking about, I think RJ's still going to have that, you know, upper hand, and I think he's going to make that known sometime this season. You know what I'm saying? He's going to, you know what I'm saying, jump that hurdle. But Grimes, man, Grimes is doing it. Grimes is showing you, yo, he been working, man. You know what I'm saying? He's coming along real good. You know what I'm saying? And I like what Grimes is doing, but I don't see him being able to, like, you know, move RJ out the way. I don't. But a great backup number 2 behind him. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That's interesting. It's interesting when you think about how Evergreen stated that, but he left out small details like the Knicks moved RJ Barrett from the 2 and replaced him with Evan Fournier. That legit happened.
That's irrelevant though.
We're
not comparing Evan Fournier to Grimes.
No, you're not comparing RJ to Fournier, but you're comparing the production of guys that played the shooting guard position.
Sure.
Right. And so let me do this real quick. Paris Douglas says Grimes is better as a 25th pick than RJ as the 30th pick. I could see that. I can see that. But this is what I want to bring up. If RJ was that impressive at the 2, why didn't the Knicks just go out and get a 3 and leave RJ at the 2? Because Kelly Oubre and other small forwards were on the same open free agent market as Evan Fournier, and they chose to go out and get a shooting guard. And Quentin Grimes potentially could be the future of the 2 guard position, uncontested.
Here's since we want to bring up red herrings, here's a better one for you. If we drafted Quentin Grimes and we knew that he was just a guy that's going to be better than RJ Barrett, then why did we even give Evan Fournier a contract? Then we drafted Quentin Grimes, and then we signed Evan Fournier, right?
Right.
And then we started Evan Fournier. So Evan Fournier is better than Quentin Grimes according to New York. Because if that was the case, they would have drafted Quentin Grimes at 25 or whatever, and then just started him because he's better than RJ Barrett, and moved RJ to the 3 and started Quentin Grimes at the 2. But they didn't do that because they don't have enough data to measure that Quentin Grimes is better than Evan Fournier. They need the data. We have years of Evan Fournier cooking mediocre teams, particularly the Knicks, getting big buckets on us, right? We got years of that data. We don't have the same exact data on the opposite end to make a determination that Quentin Grimes is the guy. Could we find out this year? Well, it all depends on what the hell they finish doing on the offseason. But we don't have enough data. So these are why these points that are being brought up are kind of moot, man. It's like I'm willing to concede to all of it. I'm willing to back him and do all of those things, but we don't have enough information yet. We still in an experimental phase. We still trying to figure out if the oil is gonna mix with the water.
That's funny coming from somebody who said we was winning a chip. Shout out to the chat. What's good to the panel? What's good, y'all?
Good morning, brother.
That's funny you saying that. What's good, Evergreen?
Peace. What's popping? They always leave out the contingency I add on it, but it's all good.
No. You can't say what you say that and then say what you just said just now. I just happen to be listening.
Yeah. What
you must have changed your mind on that shit.
What did I say the championship was contingent on? Do you remember?
You tell me, make it clear. I just because what you
Okay,
just said sound like you
I said
changed your tune.
I said the New York Knicks are one big move away from winning the championship. Is what I said. I've been consistent on that.
We
Did
just
we make
made
any move?
three.
Did
We
we
about
make
to
any
make
big
two
moves
big
last
moves.
year?
We
Did we?
about to make two big moves. Are we gonna win a championship?
I,
Or who
I
we
would
need
hope. I would hope so. I would go for it. I mean, you say
Hard will does not let people live. I like to let people live, bro.
no. It's
Nah,
not.
I-
It's not even about letting people live.
I was getting ready to poke holes all throughout what Evergreen said, and then
You
Hard will
still
just came
could.
in.
I just
No,
feel
and
I'm
like
swung
what
the
willing.
he
hammer.
Listen,
said.
I'm willing
I
to.
just
I'll
feel like
eat
what
the
he
crow.
said didn't add up with that because he telling you it's a whole bunch of oil and thing like what he was saying. So I'm like, I just wanted to know if he changed his mind on that or do he still feel like because what he was just saying sounds different. That's all.
No. I'll listen. I'll eat crow. I'll eat crow with whatever I said. But you got to make sure that what I said is what you're matching up with. Did I said that the Knicks could win a championship? I believe that the Knicks could win a championship if it's predicated on one big move based off of last year. Obviously, I was wrong on many levels because one, we didn't make a big move, and two,
You're
we
wrong
didn't
about
make the
RJ and
playoffs.
Grimes, but
And
we're
that's what I
gonna
was
let
gonna
you
say. The
live on
RJ
that.
and Grimes comparison
It
is not as bad as that. It's just of saying can he be? And only reason I mentioned how you felt was because you thought that was just so like it didn't make sense. So I just
Yeah.
felt that us winning the championship that soon didn't make sense. So I
Yeah,
just
No,
wanted
yeah.
to
it's
give you
fair.
I just wanted to give you an
Evergreen was like,
appetizer, bro.
"Yo,
Not
it
really.
don't
You
it
know you
don't
fuck
make
out,
sense."
Evergreen.
Evergreen was like, "It don't make sense that Grimes played the two, and then RJ played the two, but he got moved to small forward. But Evergreen he played the two for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? You got data, you got limited data on one and limited data on the other, and you saying that you can't compare limited data at the shooting guard for either. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
I have enough. No, hold on. We have enough data on RJ at the two to show that we want to play him at the three. We don't have enough data of Quentin Grimes at the two to say that he's better than RJ at the two. We don't have enough data for that. And if anybody says that we do have enough data, they're lying.
Evergreen, but the question, ultimately, the question was, will Quentin Grimes be better than RJ Barrett long term? That was the original question.
Right.
And I understand the question has now been morphed into something different. Right. The question has been morphed into something different. Like, hey, can we actually compare both since we have limited sample sizes for both? But that's not what the question was. The question is can Quentin Grimes, the basketball player, be better than RJ Barrett, the basketball player, long term?
Could I give a take on that? I didn't give my take on that. My take on that is they're giving Quentin Grimes a lot of, credit for his defense and stuff. And at first they was giving RJ a little bit of credit for defense. But I think once you got to take on more responsibility and just automatically become the two-way player that we want, it take a little bit more time. So not taking RJ's side on the situation is just the opportunity and the time that he have a little bit before Grimes. So I don't think Grimes could just pass RJ like that.
What'd you think about that, Nice?
Salute to everybody on the panel and salute to everybody in the chat.
What's good, boss?
Slow pass.
What up, D Knight?
What's good, Jay Boogie? What's good, Hardwell? What's good, Knicks for
Salute,
life
Knight.
and Evergreen? Uncle Freezy as usual. Man, the only thing that I could say, and there's a positive aspect on RJ, is that RJ is more like I still see RJ being a very durable player. But defending wise, I still feel like Grimes has that killing instinct. Like if he has his mindset to steal the ball, he's in the conversation. Uh, Even though people be saying like, yeah, but he's not defending starters. You could say that, but if you have a certain amount of average that RJ is producing and defending, that's making him look like if he's not a great player doing that, like defending wise, that means that he's just average. He's not nothing special defending. Because if whenever you could guard, let's say, great players and at least are a little bit above that average, that means that you are an exceptional player defending great players. But we never had a chance of seeing Grimes. But I could say this, that Grimes has that killing instinct in him, and if he does have the opportunity, I do see him getting like showing people that he is better than RJ in that aspect. But durable wise, it's hard to say because since RJ got into the league, I haven't even heard him getting hurt like that.
Right. RJ has been dinged up. He just don't miss games.
Yeah.
I would say to this that you can't compare RJ to Quentin Grimes. Is like you can't compare Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan argument. Well, you can't compare Scottie to Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can. They both are great players. Mike is better, period. There is no when you start talking about the conversation between the positions, Michael Jordan is a way better player than Scottie Pippen. But Scottie Pippen is a way better player than 99% of the people that ever played the game. He's just not as good as Mike. Right? That's just all that is. Like the thing is how we always wiggle out of questions is by saying, but that's apples to oranges, right? But the thing is, these dudes are all basketball players, right? It's not like saying, is Tim Duncan better than Wilt Chamberlain? No, Tim Duncan is great. Is he Wilt Chamberlain? No. The realist Knickerbocker was good. Thank you for the super sticker.
But I have just one thing to say. Just don't focus too much on Grimes and RJ. Just think about it this way. As soon that you seen Marcus Smart coming into the league, and I seen his game, it only needs to pass your eye test. You could tell that that kid was going to be a problem. Let's say in that defensive role, because he has that killing instinct, and that's where I focus more. Pretty much my eyesight. Like if even Deuce, I see Deuce being even a great defender. I also categorize Deuce since day one. Like he could be another Marcus Smart because of that killing instinct that you see it in him. Like if you just blink, he's just going to go for that ball. And there's only certain players that you could say that around the league.
Real quick. Hey, Freezy, did you ever get your inventory up in your shipment and everything put together yet? You know what I'm saying? Your merch and everything?
No.
All right, okay, because we gotta, yo, be honest with you, hey, yo, I'ma say it. Hey, Paris Duggar, man, even before the year is out, man, I'm gonna vote you as, you know what I'm saying, the chat person of the year, man. I'm gonna say that and do that. I'm gonna give you your flowers. Let me salute and give you your flowers, my brother, because I see you all over on podcasts, you know what I'm saying, appreciating and supporting, you know what I'm saying, and voicing your opinion, which that's even better. But then you showing the support to everybody. So you know, when Freezy gets something up in his repertoire, I'm gonna make sure he send you something. And everybody else who I see who you be rocking with, you know what I'm saying, through their podcasts and stuff, I'm gonna give them something so they can send you something, you know what I'm saying, for your appreciation. Because you know, who am I to say I'm nobody to say it? But I recognize when somebody is a good person and they doing real stuff, and you always support all the podcasters every time you speak. And that right there should go a long way, man. So, you know, shout out to you, man. Flowers to you, Mr. Duggar. Flowers to you.
Shout out, Paris Duggar. Word.
Paris Duggar got an $800 monthly podcast budget on a separate account. $2.
Word. Put some respect on his account, right? Put some respect on when you see him pull up. Put some respect on that name, bro. Shout out Paris Duggar.
Yeah, Because if you times that $2 by the 75 times he do it a week,
Right, I'll be clocking his money. Y'all know. I'll
yeah,
be in the
I'm
chat
not.
too. I just don't be commenting. You know
Hey,
what I
yo,
mean? Y'all think
listen.
I be
Hey,
ghost for a
listen.
while? I'll be
I'm in a
commenting.
tight
And who up
I'm in a
there?
tight
Paris
situation. I
Duncan,
would have
$2.
asked him for a loan.
We know now, Evergreen.
Right. Paris Duncan, $2. Paris Duncan say he give $2. He gives 6 words, and his presence is felt.
That's
Bam.
right.
Yeah, man.
Word,
Yeah, man.
salute.
Hey, so Paris Douglas says, Fournier Cook Boston, so that's BS anyway, right? And the realist Niggerbacker says, this is my super chat freeze. He wanted to build through the draft. However, the time is now. We must get Spider. We deserve excitement at the Garden. Amen. Bro, that's what I be trying to do. The tanker
Facts.
wanksters want to rob me of my in-game experience, bro. We go to games. We don't want a bad product. We go to these games, but I don't want to drive all the way to Washington, D.C., sit in some bad seats and be like, I'm out here watching Emmanuel Mudiay. No, man. I don't want to drive all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then watch a bad Knicks product. I don't want to drive all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, or fly or take a 45-minute flight to Orlando, Florida. You know what I'm saying? To watch a bad Knicks product, bro. It's time out for that, man.
And then even what's crazier, to make up the words to cover it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But Uncle Freezy, I have one thing to say with all this trade talk that has happened with Donovan Mitchell. Like, guys, when you have a superstar like Donovan Mitchell, he's not top 5 in his category, in his position. He's number 1, numero uno. So when you have a player like that, you just cannot pass. Like, that's why I'm very tough whenever it comes to a realistic deal. If it's a realistic deal, and it doesn't matter to me at this point, it does not matter. We don't have a player at that caliber. If it's destined to be, we could trade whoever it is. If they love the New York Knicks that much, don't sign the next contract, and we welcome you back to the Knicks. That would be even more beautiful, because at least they actually gain even more respect, because there was a trade ship just to make something happen with Donovan Mitchell. And who knows, in a year or two, they didn't sign the contract, they could come back. That goes to anybody in this team. It goes everybody knows how I feel about Emmanuel Quickly. I like that kid. I like Obi. I like Miles McBride. I like even Grimes. But at the same time, when we talking about a caliber player like Donovan Mitchell or a Joker, what is there to think about?
I don't know, but I know one thing. You know, a
Who
few
gonna pick
days
him up
ago,
from the airport?
Man, we'll pick them up or forget Uber. They better get
Where he gonna
a
eat at? That's it.
man. They already have all that thing set before they get here. Everything is already set.
Yeah.
a few days ago, somebody was saying about, every time somebody come here and they get that money and they don't perform, outside of Melo. That's what, somebody said, early in the week, which was, what I'm saying, 80% facts, if not more. But the thing about Donovan is he's 25 and he's already under 134 for 4 years. So
Yeah.
what that's saying is he's going to come and play and give it his all, because he know he got room to re-up. So
Yeah.
he's looking to re-up at 29, which will be his prime.
Yeah.
So, all that, thinking that he's not going to come and play for that money. No, he's going to come and play for that money, because he know what that contract could look like at 29, coming from James Dolan himself. A big suitcase. Forget the briefcase. A suitcase.
Mm-hmm. Jay Boogie, I have even another theory. When you have a superstar like that, I
Mm-hmm.
I still have a gut feeling like they be hearing what people be saying.
Mm-hmm.
And for a star like Donovan Mitchell, if he comes across to podcasts, not only like yours, Freezy, but any other podcast, I'm including everybody, and it's like all this slandering about his defense, about this, about that. He might even have a prospect. You know what I'm saying? They pooping on me that bad. I don't even want to go to the Knicks. They
Right.
end up going to another team, And now we're gonna be looking like, oh man, we could have had Donovan Mitchell if it could have happened. No, you guys are part of that problem. Like we need to change our culture, and it's not about us loving a certain player. We could love a certain player, but once we talk about stat wise, we talking about a top 10. To me, if anybody that's in the conversation of being in the top 10 category in the best of their position, I want him in our team. Mitchell Robinson, as much as people want to be criticizing him, he's top 10 in his position, top 5 defending in his position. At least we got something with Mitchell Robinson. Imagine if we keep on attacking and getting people that's dominating at least a top 10 or a top 5 in their position, and we include them in the Knicks, how good is the Knicks going to be? We're going to be crazy, guys. Like all that Donovan Mitchell slandered, we have to stop, guys. Like he's number one. If he's number one in his position, it says a lot because we talking about 30 starters and 30 bench players. And around all those 60 players, he's number one in that position. What are we doing?
Well, I know somebody need to wake Leon Rose up, man. Tell him he need to wake up because I just got the word, looking at the Wendy has said the Miami Heat are raising the temperature on making a massive trade for Donovan. So if you're gonna do something, Leon, you need to go ahead and stop snoring and go ahead and do something. Because you can't give a dude like Pat too long to figure something out.
But even Utah Jazz, Jay Boogie, Utah Jazz, they already are set. They're gonna trade Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, but I'm just saying Miami is entering the conversations as of right now. That's what Wendy just posted.
Yeah,
right
but
now.
They don't have enough of anything.
They don't have enough. Exactly. And
enough.
and it's like if think about it this way, Jay Boogie, this has nothing to do with trading one or two key player that we all like. If it's one or two, is a great trade, and we could get rid of or because I don't like to use that word, but we could also include Evan Fournier, and we appreciate everything that Evan Fournier did for this organization, and that's the mentality that we need to have with players that we're about to trade, not trade that bum. No, he broke the record, at least the most 3-point made in a season compared for what the last 30 years. Like those are things that is valuable in my book because at least they did something. Mitchell Robinson also broke a record that it hasn't even been touched. Like we need to appreciate all these type of contribution that players had made for our team. And if we have that mindset that if at least two players leave and you get 5 of the 6, I don't have a problem with that. But I do have a problem when they trying to gut pretty much the whole what is it, the whole bench. They won Emmanuel Quickly, they won Obi, they won Grimes, they won Deuce, and they won beside that. Let me
Listen,
get
I
six
tell you
additions.
this.
Uh-huh.
I'm a take it or leave it guy. This is I'm a take it or leave it guy. Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and 5 picks. You don't want it? That's fine. I will move on gladly, and we will turn Grimes into what we want him to be. I've always been like that, right? They're like, oh, you're not going to get Donovan Mitchell for that. I got you. That's what I'm willing to give up for him.
Yeah,
we're not going nowhere more than that. Derrick Rose, Evan Fournier, that clears the gut at the point guard, that clears the gut at the 2. You bring in Donovan Mitchell. He can play some point. He can definitely play the shooting guard. I have Quickly coming off the bench at the 1, right? And I'll have Grimes coming off the bench at the 2 for Donovan Mitchell. And leave it like that. And if they don't want that, if they don't want those 5 picks, I will walk away because at this point, the fact that we have Jalen Brunson, not saying that Jalen Brunson is Donovan Mitchell, but we don't need him. I don't think we need him. So if you want to do this deal, Utah, if I'm the GM, you want to do this deal, this is what I'm willing to give you. And if you want more, then I will back out. Period.
I'm with that. I just want us to go ahead and make their move. Because like I say, you don't know what that brain might can go somewhere else and put together a 2-3 team trade to try to do what he do. That's why if you're going to make the move, present your case. If they want it, like you said, then they'll take it. If they don't want it, you know what I'm saying, then we can move on and do something else. But don't keep sitting and allowing this guy over here in Miami to change suits three times in a day.
Right.
Man,
Right.
I even have a trade scenario. I'll be like, listen, if you want Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose has to be included just for the money, and if you want a kid, I'll give you either OB and Grimes in that package, OB or Deuce in that package, quickly Deuce or quickly Grimes, and if it's RJ, just RJ alone. And the only reason I put it in that category, and remember, this is no slander on no particular player. I always believe that if you love an organization that much, don't sign whatever contract that they trying to give you, and do the same thing as Brunson, and we will welcome you. Like New York Knicks, bro, we will welcome you just because you was part of it. And if it happens, we just got to we ended up being even a better team because we actually kept pretty much everything.
Miami knows for a fact that if we get Donovan, we're gonna pass them.
Oh yeah.
Pat Riley knows that. You know, with Donovan Mitchell coming over here to us and them losing PJ Tucker, they fall. They fall. And Pat knows that. So that brain get ready to try to do everything he can. So if we're gonna push the button, if we're gonna swing the hammer on the nail, we need to go
Mhm.
ahead and hit that nail with the hammer. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And stop. You know, some moves take time to create. You know what I'm saying? So you know you're making the right choices. But this is
Mhm.
the type move that you can go ahead and make now and deal with whatever you need to do later. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
that's why I say,
Right.
you know, you think Atlanta was worried about having 2 point guards in the 2 point guards in the backcourt? No, they was trying to make sure they get them so they can make sure we don't get them. See,
Mhm.
this is moves that are being made on the Knicks. People are trying to get things that they know from the pieces that they know the Knicks can get and use and become something. They don't want us to become nothing. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
we got a point guard, man. I love the Brunson situation because
Oh yeah.
and I even like him for real. I like Brunson for for um McBride because both of them really not gonna beat you like that off the dribble. Both of them got a good enough shot, but the thing that Brunson can show McBride and elevate his game, he can show him the angles, the
Yeah.
cuts. You know what I'm saying? That's what McBride don't know, but
Yeah.
that's what gets Brunson over. Not that he's gonna be faster than you off his quickness, you know what I'm saying, or his first step or nothing. It's the angles that he takes, you know what I'm saying, that catches you off guard. And I think that's gonna be something big that Brunson can get from him. You know what I'm saying? So I like the guard that we got, man.
Oh yeah.
I like Brunson's game. I
In
like it
in
a
other
lot.
words, Jay, in other words, Jay Buggy, by a McBride or yeah, a Deuce being on the court, whatever experience he could gain in 3 years, just having Brunson by his size, he could actually have a shortcut instead of him taking 3 years to mature and learn certain tricks. He's going to learn that even faster having somebody that has already experience. So he's going to pull him aside. Listen, this is what you're doing wrong. Just fix it. It's going to be a lovely thing. I'm loving everything that I'm seeing with the Knicks. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mitchell will help RJ as well if he was to still be there.
Right.
For sure.
And think
I
about it
will
this.
also say it's a shared thing. It would be if we was to get Donovan Mitchell, the respect that Donovan Mitchell has right now for Jalen Brunson is above reproach because Jalen Brunson just cooked you in the playoffs.
Oh, that's going to be a beautiful thing. And
He
now they
just
not.
cooked you,
And now
So
they. Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so it's just a matter. It's a matter of like real respect.
Yeah.
Primary
Right.
scorer to be into a guy who's willing to share the ball on a much more, I would even say like intimate. It moves very easily, and almost almost like you could say, in comparison to, I hate throwing superstars of the past into this, but like you look at how when LeBron went over to Miami, and it was almost like they were sharing the ball too much. At some point in time, Dwayne Wade had to establish a pecking order. I could see something like that as far as the ball being shared happening between Donovan Mitchell and Brunson, just because you can tell that Donovan Mitchell was going to come into this game and revere him. But with that being said, I'm still there with the take it or leave it. I don't want to get past that point. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I feel like when they say they can't play together and stuff like that, we got to start with talent first and then leave it up to those guys. If they know how to play, then they'll figure it out. Especially like they just mentioned, those guys going against each other in practice. I think, but you could see somebody have a good game against somebody, but then when you think of them pairing up together, we never imagined that. Yeah. So to me, that's just a great look at itself. And they don't play the same position. They play different positions. To me, that makes it good, so they can figure out how to play together. And that's what the whole thing is. And then when you got an Eastern Conference that's so competitive and so deep, if you see talent, the key is going to be the chemistry. Do these guys like to play together? Do they feel as good as getting assists as they do as when they score? That's the type of chemistry that you need to succeed in a competitive Eastern Conference. So I see the roster will be talented if we add Donovan and we keep RJ, right? But that's the part that we got to make sure Brunson, Mitchell, RJ, Randall, those guys get along and like playing together, so we can really see what that team could do.
But I think it goes a long way, to add on to your point. Well, it goes a long way when you respect the guy that's coming in, right?
Facts. I agree, 100%.
Yep.
So we saw Jalen Brunson.
We had that problem before. Yep.
Right.
That.
No. You're absolutely right. When you don't respect the guy, or you feel like you can't count on that guy, then you're not liable to pass to him. You freeze him out of the offense, right? And then that's a trickle effect. Like, oh, word, y'all want to freeze me out? Every time I get the ball, I'm jacking.
Or I ain't boxing out, or
boxing out, or I'm not rebounding. I'm not giving any maximum effort. But when you got a guy that he's a baller. Oh, we got ballers. I feel like it makes everybody step their game up and go to another level, because we got somebody. We got somebody that can hold
play
us down.
more in their position too, Chuck. Like, do what you could do. You don't got to try to do more than what you really could do, because now you just got to be ready, stay ready, and know that if we playing that way, the ball is going to move, because now we believe in the team, like Chuck is saying. That changes the chemistry, and that's why I said the key word is chemistry. Remember, you don't got to have that many superstars or any superstars to be the superstar team. I always say that. Team ball could beat a superstar team, especially if you got a couple all-stars. So
yeah. Let me just say this real quick. I don't know if you read the Pat Jiggy super chat. Can Grimes be better than Spider in the future? No. Right. Eric Hawk, thank you for the generous contribution. Eric Hawk says, Jazz fan here. Salute to the Utah Jazz fans and organization. Donnie going to the Heat is a chip. I definitely agree with that. If you're a Knicks fan, and you watch Donovan Mitchell go to any other team in the Eastern Conference, you should be sick to your stomach.
Yeah, I had enough, man. I would be.
Yeah. And so I just want to add this point, because I was listening. I was listening to everybody, right, as I'm working, right? I think it's less about the personnel in this case. I think it's more about systems. And I think if your coach develops a system where you have an elite pick and roll ball handler, and we do in Jalen Brunson, he proved it for the last 2 years. That's enough of a sample size. 2 full seasons in the 90th percentile is enough to prove that this guy is an elite pick and roll ball handler.
Yeah.
And you have an elite wing scorer. And 4+ seasons is enough for you to see Donovan Mitchell
at 23 points a game per game over that stretch is an elite wing scorer, right? Now, RJ Barrett at 20 points per game, that's not enough.
Mhm.
That's not enough of a sample size. That's just one season. Julius Randle at 20, Julius Randle at 20 and 10, with all different types of personnel, is enough to know that Julius Randle is a 20 and 10, maybe empty stat guy, right? But with guys that are efficient, he may become a 20 and 10 efficient guy. You could say, hey man, listen, what could Julius do in that role where he gets to go one-on-one against power forwards and every one of his shots is not contested. And I go back to the example of the 1-5 pick and roll, and it's because it's the one we see the most, right? Bro, on that pick and roll thing when Jalen Brunson comes around that screen from Mitch, and your big has to step up and stop Jalen Brunson, and you kick out to Donovan Mitchell, who is in a one-on-one because the defense collapsed to close off the paint. I like Donovan Mitchell in them one-on-one situations against any shooting guard in the universe. You hear me? Any shooting guard. I don't care if they 5'11" or they 6'11". You know what I'm saying? Any shooting guard, I want Donovan Mitchell in a one-on-one situation. You hear me? Hey, listen, I will eat off that. And you know, Spider Mitchell will eat off that. And if you double team that, now you got Randall in that 18-foot range as a popper, and RJ Barrett on the weak side of that, wide open by himself. You cannot cover four dudes with the potential to average 20 points a game, bro. It's impossible. That's why if you have the hammer to swing off something, bro, you got to swing the hammer, bro. Because right now I just mentioned X's and O's, right? But success in the NBA is 20% X's and O's and 80% Jimmy and Joe's. And if you don't have Jimmy's and Joe's, you ain't gonna be set. And I wish I had a coach in here that knew no matter what systems if you ain't got players, you ain't got nothing. No matter how good your system is, no matter how good your systems are, right?
So, and you know what, Freezy, real quick, I got a question for you, Freezy. On paper, would you say if we was to have Donovan Mitchell, that would be top 3 starting fives in the league?
I got to think about that because that means I got to think about all the starting fives.
Yeah,
I got to think about all the starting fives. I wish I could just say yes, but I need some time to think about all the starting fives in the league. I don't want to just. I just don't want to knee jerk. I want to be. You know, Evergreen, you come up, bro. You know, I'll be trying to be thoughtful. I'll be having to think about this stuff.
Well, I tell you, if they all come to play to their potential and are willing to play for themselves, and I mean not play just for themselves and play for the team and put the team first, that's your answer. Yeah, yeah, for real.
Is it the best starting five in our division? And that's what I want to start with.
It could be. Like
yes, I'm saying
no.
I still think it's Boston.
Boston, that's right. No, Boston
is Brogdon, Brown, Tatum, Gallinari, Robert Williams.
I keep on thinking that
Jersey City was good.
Once we actually see, let's say, everything at least play out, at least for the first 10 or 20 games, we could have even a better understanding where we're going. Like, I just don't want to sell our team low just because we got Donovan Mitchell. I still feel like Brunson is being very underrated. This kid is very gritty. Like, people do not understand how gritty is this kid. Especially if you saw when Luka went down, he was the one that actually said, hey, let me get that backpack. I'm gonna put that backpack on my back and play it out. That says a lot. That says that this kid, he has the mentality of actually winning. And it's especially imagine Brunson versus Donovan Mitchell, instead of them now being enemy, now they ally, playing for the same team. Bro, it's gonna be dangerous. That's why I do not want to sell short. And I just want to say something real quick, Freezy, on that super chat that you just had before about comparing Grimes. Is he's gonna be better than Donovan Mitchell? Listen, throughout the whole league, you always see some sort of an abnormality, like things like that happens. But at the same time, we cannot go based on potential than the stats that is already given. We talking about Donovan Mitchell, all-star appearance. He made multiple all-star appearance, and just by having that in mind, we gotta roll. We can't roll the dice. We just gotta understand that Donovan Mitchell at this time he's better because we just cannot. We just do not know what Grimes is going to be in the future.
Yo, Evergreen. Hey, Evergreen. Let me rephrase that, Evergreen, real quick. Let me rephrase that, and give my respects to Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, and Boston. Yeah, let me give my respects to them guys. After that, I don't see nobody else. No Atlanta, no Charlotte, no none of that. Because I see us with we got 5 dudes that's hungry. If Donovan comes here, that's 5 dudes that got something to prove. You know what I'm saying? Brunson want to prove I can handle my own squad. Donovan got something that he want to prove. You ain't want me no more over there. You think I ain't this? All right, I'll go home and play with a guard that's healthy every night. Yeah. RJ got something to prove. What y'all still ain't got me in the top 25. I'm getting ready to tell what y'all ain't. My contract ain't matching up to. I got something to prove. And you know, after what Julius did right there, for real, he want to prove something different to the people. Whether half of us want him here or half of us don't. But all them guys got something to prove along with Mitch, 60 mil. Oh, you think I ain't here with some of y'all talking about just give me 12 and 13 mil? You know, I got something I got to prove. You think I ain't watching this dude Sims hit his head on top of the rubber all night in the summer league? You think I don't know he pushing down my neck? Yo, I got something to prove. So if them guys just like to come together right now, we had something. We got to get Donovan. We got to hit the hammer on the nail. If not, then do something else so I can stop talking about it. But that right there is the main objective. It's starting to get me sick. I think that they're going to be the last day I'm going to talk about Donovan until something happens, because either we're going to get him or not. I don't want to just go overboard and we wind up not getting him. Because like I just said, when you just said, yo, that he get ready to push the move, then you just had this dude from Utah just come in the chat and tell us he's from Utah, and it'll be a chip if Donovan go to Utah. So just like he looking up our podcast, you think he ain't on no Utah podcast, getting inside information and stuff like we got Ian Begley and all this going on over here? Yeah, they got the same thing. Might not be as big as ours, but they got the same things, man. So you got to hit the hammer, man. Tell Chop Low to pull over, man, and call somebody and tell somebody, yo, send Donovan over here, man. Go get him, Chop. You driving that car, go Uber him, Donovan, over here, man.
Get that food.
Yeah, Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, thank you, Jay Boogie. Thank you all. Y'all got to understand that you are appreciated. You all help people get through their days. When you can help, you help. I love to help and support the helpers. Bottoms up. Those are for the drinks. Appreciate you, Paris Duggan.
Facts. Word.
Always, brother.
And so what I'm getting at, like what I'm getting at when I said the 80-20 thing, right? There's another 20% thing too. Is the defense. Like what people don't understand is Tom Thibodeau's defense. Why a short, a non-tall backcourt can thrive with Tibbs is because of the type of defense Tibbs runs, right? Tibbs runs in pressure, man-to-man, high ball screen, icing pick and roll defense, pushing the pick and roll ball handler away from the middle of the court. So your guards don't have to block shots. All they have to do is contest on the perimeter. That's all they have to do. And then, but in that defense, you do need a rim protector because you force everything to your rim protection, right? Anything on the baseline, you force it to your rim protection, and you got weak side coverage. That's the reason why you can get away with Randall, RJ, Spider, and Brunson, as long as Mitch is there, right? Mitch is the key to the defense, right? Brunson is the key to the offense, right? It's the reason why Mitch got paid so much. It's the reason why Mitch wasn't included in that deal to the Jazz. Because there are not many guys around the league like Mitchell Robinson. And I know people are saying, well, he's only 8-8. But what about his defensive metrics? What about his offensive rebounding? Those are the, because hey, whether we want to admit it or not, Julius Randle is an excellent defensive rebounder, right? Excellent at ending possessions, right? But guess what Mitchell Robinson is excellent at? Offensive rebounding.
Facts.
And you got a combination of both playing together.
Facts.
Right. And so what we do sometimes in our conversations, what we do is we leave out all the convenient stuff for buzzwords, but we leave out stuff like chemistry. You got one guy that is a demon on the defensive glass, one guy that's a demon on the offensive glass. They work together in helping the Knicks be a great rebounding team, right? And then when you take into the account that a 6'3" guard in Donovan Mitchell is a good rebounder, right? Your 6'6" guy in RJ Barrett is a good defensive rebounder. And Jalen Brunson is tough. Come on. So all I'm saying, man, is let's not overlook the stuff that really happens here. There are things that really happen with us. And by saying, no, don't go get Donovan Mitchell because he's too short, you can't come to us and just say stuff like that, bro. We got to come with some stuff.
All right, I got a question for you because I brought up the top 5, starting 5s in the league, right? So I want to take a panel, right? Because somebody mentioned Boston, somebody mentioned Milwaukee and Philly, right? I think that was Jay Boogie, right? So, all right, who do you take? Do you take Jalen Brunson or Marcus Smart? Let's do it. Let's do a panel. Jalen Brunson or Marcus Smart? Who you got, Freezy?
Brunson.
I got one for Brunson. I'll second Brunson.
I'll say Brunson.
Anybody for
Brunson.
That's 3 for Brunson.
Brunson.
All right. That's 4 for Brunson.
I'll take Brunson too. Just to
We
help.
biased. We all biased. We Knicks fans. That's probably why.
No.
I want to hear his point. I want to hear his point.
All right. So
yeah, what's the point? Yeah.
So Mitchell Robinson or Robert Williams? Who do you take? Do you take Mitchell Robinson as your guy, or do you take Robert Williams?
But our picks ain't gonna equate to wins, bro. That's gonna boil down to experience and the team having to get chemistry. So you can't just say because we pick better players. Oh, okay.
On paper, though. Yeah, this is just on paper.
I take Robert Williams on that one.
Yeah,
because I know he's gonna play through injury.
Yeah. But I don't only see the comparison between Boston. Just go even further in that. Like with bench play, if we end up keeping pretty much all our bench squad, I feel, bro, like we have a fight. It's going to be a dog fight. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh, it's unanimous for Boston. Boston, they have 2 superstars in their team between Brown and Tatum, but bench, like we have, I feel like when we talk about bench, we have their
no offense, nice, but 20 minutes ago he said starters, so that's why he's starting with these starters.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I said starting 5. That's what I'm saying, starting 5. So do you take Donovan Mitchell or Jaylen Brown?
Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's easy.
Jaylen Brown is number 3 in his position. Donovan Mitchell is number 1.
Sure. Okay, got you. So obviously you take Jason Tatum over RJ Barrett.
Oh,
so that's two Boston players Who's the starting 4 at Boston right now?
I take Al Horford.
You take Al Horford over Julius Randle?
That's what I'm saying. It depends on what the team would need. So I understand you mean on paper, but it would depend on. You can't say which one's going to equate to a win. Look what Horford just did over there. So it would just make it seem like, you know, you just picking who you think is better player.
Yeah.
But is it going to equate to wins? That's the thing, and that's what you're not getting as far as with the Knicks team that you trying to say could do that so fast. They got to have chemistry to catch up to those teams you trying to compare them to. I think because even Boston have had their base. For them to even get there, they have had their players or their team for a certain amount of seasons to get the chemistry. Like Freezy just said, chemistry is key. In order to get the chemistry, you got to get them at least a couple seasons. Then you could probably consider them like that. Then I won't have a problem with it personally.
Now watch
As we see, because they could overachieve, you know what I mean, or they could really do better than other players. You know what I mean? That's what we could take that to once they start to play together, and you could say how fast this team came together. You could do that, but before we start to see anything, we can't just say it's better than a team that's already doing it and playing together.
I got you. Now watch this. What was the thing that sparked Boston to finally get their stuff together? Who remembers?
A coach? I mean, they did a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was the game against us.
It was
the game that R.J. Barrett hit the game winner in Jason Tatum's mouth.
Yeah.
That was so the chemistry that we already have as the current Knicks team without Jalen Brunson shows that we can beat Boston.
Yeah.
It shows that we're now we didn't play them again after that because they got their heads out of their behinds and finally started to play with what they got. But the chemistry that we had against Boston is already there.
Yeah.
We beat Boston. We can do that.
Yeah, but we beat Boston by a shot, bro. Like, come on, bro. Boston went to the finals. Bro.
Sure.
All right, yeah, you're right. Like Freezy said, I can't destroy everybody's dream. He's right. My bad, Freezy.
No, you good. What I'm saying is
Freezy said I don't never want to let nobody live. Let me let you dream, bro. My bad.
A W's a W is what I'm saying.
No, I agree, but we can't take away Boston what they did after. And remember, Boston wasn't even in the conversation around that time about being considered good. Remember, they were slept on. They said they should trade Tatum and Brown. So I think it was more than that shot, man. They had to make a lot of other moves that we probably ain't see as Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my point to it. That's all.
Boston.
Right.
What gave Boston that edge is that they stopped playing selfish. They started playing team ball, and I see it this way. Like, I like Al Horford. I would love him to be in the Knicks, but between him or Julius Randle, I gotta stick with Julius Randle. Al Horford never had over 20 points.
Come on, man.
I'm
nice.
just saying. I'm just saying.
On,
can I just finish?
No. Because we dancing around. We putting icing on the cake, bro. What it came down to Boston is two things. It's simple.
Yeah.
Boston said, "F that. We ready to stop developing right now. We ready to stop developing and go get veterans." And they traded them young players for Derek White. Did y'all not remember that? Did that not happen?
Yeah.
Did you not see Boston trade away all them young cats, Romeo Langford, all them young guys? They traded away all them dudes and went out and got a veteran guard. They like, hey, enough is enough.
Yeah.
And then they locked down and started playing defense. It's as simple as that, bro. You can only develop for so long.
Was that before or after the R.J. Barrett jumper?
I just,
Was that before or after the R.J. Barrett jumper, Freezy? When you the R.J. Barrett jumper, Freezy?
Evergreen G, again, you are making a grand point about nothing. Like what Hardwill said, they lost by one shot.
Sure.
Bro, they traded for Derek White. They went out and got veterans. They was like, yo, enough of this Enough of this kindergarten field trip, bro. We want to win.
Sure. Were they winning
win.
after the Derek White? Were they winning right after the Derek White trade? Did we beat them after they traded for Derek White? After they supposedly got this veteran guard?
I don't
when
know.
was the Derek White trade, Freezy?
I don't know.
Of course it's significant because your implication is that they got Derek White and the stars open. The sun started shining for Boston. And I'm explaining to you that that's not how it went down. Nope. Yeah, they got Derek White. Yeah, they helped. But they didn't get their chemistry until after we beat them. So we can beat them with or without Derek White. It don't matter.
So in your thing, you're saying that
I love Evergreen.
Wow.
The Knicks are the reason why the Celtics went to the NBA Finals.
Talk to Jason Tatum. He said the season low for the team was when R.J. Barrett hit the jump shot in his face, and that's what let them know that something needed to change. And then from that point on, they went on a run. Yeah. You don't got to talk to me about it. You can just ask Jason Tatum. He said it.
He did say it.
It didn't come from Evergreen. It came from Jason Tatum. Yep. It didn't come from Evergreen's enlightenment. Jason Tatum said that himself. So if the superstar on the team, the number one superstar on the team is telling you that this is the thing that got us to pull our heads out of our behinds, then that lets you know that they didn't have their stuff all together before that jump shot. So that means we could beat them with or without Derek White? Are you serious right now? Derek White? Derek White's the guy that changed everything for everybody? Come on, Freezy.
Yes.
They made way more moves than that. They did some other things too, bro.
Sure, but that's not what Freezy said. He said Derek White. He didn't say about the other moves.
No, he didn't. He said they made veteran moves. They want to win now.
I said enough of the kindergarten field trip. They stopped their development and went out and got veterans. That's what I said. And then I said one name in particular that you gravitated towards, and you think that's the only thing that I said, but I didn't.
Okay, so
I also said this team locked down defensively. Did you hear that? Did you hear that part too?
See, Freezy, that's why you can't throw people rafts, Freezy. Then they come for the person that threw them a raft before. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No.
You can't let people live. I got you.
Evergreen.
So who did Boston trade for? Let's be clear about it. Throw them all.
And there ain't no facts to that. Y'all Knicks fans got to stop dreaming. That's the facts to it.
Name the veterans that Boston traded for that changed everything, and was it before or after the R.J. Barrett shot?
It was before.
Okay, so that means when the R.J. Barrett shot happened, they had those veterans on the team. Yes or no?
Yes.
Am I lying about this?
Nah, you're right.
Okay, so again, whether they had them or not at this point is irrelevant because we still beat them when they had them. And we beat them earlier.
You shouting? Yo, you excited? You saying that a shot? All right, bro. I can't. You right.
Like chill. Don't have an aneurysm. Evergreen G, please relax. Take a breath. You are the new Stephen A. Smith of the morning drive. Just chill.
Leave Evan Green alone. He done went on and off the New Jersey Turnpike 10 times.
All right turns.
He probably drove into Pennsylvania right now.
Yo, he got his car on autopilot.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Buddha, thank you for the generous contribution. Brooklyn Buddha says also this would be the best team Tibbs ever had. And then we have another super chat real quick. Just want to read this super chat real quick. Paris Douglas says, stay calm. Ainge is going to take those 8 picks. Y'all with Fournier and Grimes, he want those picks, 8 picks. Donovan is worth it, but he needs our youth core, or the young core. Okay. Everybody, are you saying that the Knicks are better than Boston right now? That's what you're alluding to?
Before we got Donovan Mitchell.
Freezy, stop giving these questions to make him get riled up.
If we get Donovan Mitchell, I would say we're better than Boston. Yes, I would say that.
Yes.
Okay.
Bro,
before we get team chemistry,
I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with being the guy that eats crow, bro. Like I'm a grown man. I stand on my word, right? I say, and you can record it. Somebody clip it now. If we get Donovan Mitchell, we are better than Boston on paper. Period.
Yeah.
Period. Now,
I think they said we could
is it
be
going
a.
to reflect?
My bad, Evergreen. Go ahead. My bad. No, go ahead, bro. I was cutting you off. No, I was going to say, even with Donovan, they saying like we could be a first, second round playoff team because we got to get some chemistry. But to say Boston, I just think it's a reach just because of the chemistry, not the talent. And the talent is still, because they got to learn each other how to play together.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things you got to take into factor before you just jump out and say that. I heard you when you first said it and you started smiling. I thought you was trolling, but you serious.
but
I don't know why you think that so fast, bro.
But remember one thing.
And somebody said in the chat, keep it like some of y'all in the chat. You see, I'll be thinking like Evergreen, y'all tripping. And I in no way I could agree with a reach. So don't say keep nobody in nothing if he's saying a bunch of stuff that ain't right or don't make sense. And that's all I'm gonna say to that. Go ahead, Nice.
I got a question.
So remember,
quick,
Boston wasn't even in the conversation until they actually made it to the final. Like people was off with Boston. Remember,
that's a good point.
That organization, they was already thinking about trading either Brown or Tatum because they couldn't get their act together. So anything in basketball could actually happen.
Nice. Again, that's also not true, bro. That same Boston Celtics team you talking about?
They've been in the finals.
They lost in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2020.
But
they had one bad year.
But you get what I'm saying out of context. I'm saying that was a team, regardless, that they didn't made a move massively, at least making it to the final with Brown and Tatum. Like
because they don't have to. They got superstars. That's the difference. You said that too. They don't have to do that. They already got those two guys. So, but for you to make it sound like you was comparing them to us, and we haven't been in that conversation in so long, that's why he probably said that or cut you. But when you made your point, the Knicks ain't in that conversation yet, bro. Y'all just rushing without they ain't even played one game together. And y'all want to say that. Y'all crazy.
I'm a Knicks fan.
So, the chemistry.
So
that's what J-Lo said.
I will say this, but I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'm a Knicks fan first, regardless. So once chemistry does pop, because I feel like just with Brunson alone, we got that gritty. Like people, like to me right now, the most underrated player that we have right now is not nobody else but Brunson, and he's still not even in that Knicks jersey. But he's gonna give a lot of cats that taste that wow, we got something. And once,
No, I was gonna say not to cut you, my bad, Nice. I would say, we all got to take in consideration, bro, Nice, that we trying to get it together, and other teams that was better than us, they got better already.
But why?
So even like Boston, they just added more players. They got Brogdon there.
Why do you think right now Miami is trying to make it hard for us not to even get Donovan Mitchell?
I don't think Miami care about us. Miami trying to win.
Believe me, they care. They care because they know that right now. Let me
bro, they got to worry about the other teams like Boston, Milwaukee.
Let me say this, Harwell. So I see it this way. They know which team right now is in the conversation of making at least an appearance to the final. Right now is either the Bucks in our side, is either Boston, is either Philly, is either Miami. But if Miami, if one of those teams knows that we're going to get Donovan Mitchell, just makes us even better straight out the bat. So they don't want to have that conversation. So that's why now you even hear Miami trying to get Donovan Mitchell, because if he's up for grab, forget New York Knicks. If we get Donovan Mitchell, we definitely going to get either a ship or at least make it to the final.
I think the point I'm trying to make is that, we got to worry about them before they got to worry about us. Like, meaning like, if we get them, we going to be a better team. If they get them, they go into the finals. So we not gonna be able to go to the finals if we get Donovan Mitchell, and I don't think right away anyway, and I don't think the fans feel that way.
Yeah.
So if you say he's going to Miami, then you're gonna have people saying they could go to the Eastern Conference Final with that team.
Oh yeah.
So that's the comparison right there. You always got to put the shoe on the other foot. A lot of us is just Knicks fans and we wishing for the best. I get it, but it has to be reality. It has to be some type of reality there. You know what I mean? You can't just say because of the way the team could look. Hold on, I'm not finished. You can't say however the team will look, right? And just say, snap your finger, this team is going to be playing great together. Give them a season at least, and then I'm with you. I'm not saying y'all wrong about y'all take about what we can be. All I'm saying is get them a chance to learn how to play together before you discredit other teams that already learned how to play together and say we better than them. Because it's not always the talent that gets the win. Look at Kyrie and Durant. And look at all these teams that got together that didn't win. It's proven that there's more to that. And that's why we keep saying the chemistry, sharing the ball. These was my takes to how they could win. Y'all going on beating teams that already figured some of that stuff out. As far as the other stuff, Tatum going to figure out how to finish and play better and be more efficient the more he get there. You know what I'm saying? We not even been in that situation in so long. So that's just a difference for me. That's all.
We was in that scenario.
Hold up, before somebody else go, man. We got two other guys inside.
Yeah, let my man right there to the left say something. He been on the screen. What's up, brother? How you doing?
You talking to me?
Yeah. What's good, fam?
Yeah. Well, good morning to everybody. First and foremost, man. I love listening to you guys. I just wanted to touch on, elaborate a little bit more on my super chat. I think us as Knicks fans are delusional a little bit when it comes to our players. So many people tied up into RJ. RJ was the number 3 pick, granted, but everything with RJ is forced. He's not the guy. We need to get Spider.
Yep.
Same thing with Julius Randle. Julius Randle had that good year. Now he's back to where he supposed to be. We need Spider. Julius is not the man. And if we don't get Spider, then we back to looking at RJ and Randall, and Brunson was a nice pickup, but they should have got Murray. But this has been planned for years. Somebody talked about it since your boy took over. They already knew what they were going to do. They knew Brunson was coming. They knew they were going after Spider. But RJ and Randall are not the man. But if we get Spider, for me, it makes it more. I can stomach watching the team because then it will be something exciting.
Yeah. But
right now, because we're Knicks fans, we settle for, a number 5 because we've been searching for that number 10 for so long. That hot chick that has been so elusive. So we want to make RJ out to be the one and Randall out to be the one. They're not the one. We got to get Spider. And if all the people who have been caping and capping for Tom Thibodeau that he's a good coach, once Spider gets on his team, because I hope it happens, there should be no questions. That team should be able to beat anybody in the Eastern Conference. If Spider gets on his team and we keep RJ and we keep Randall, like I think is going to happen, all the people who caping and capping for Tom Thibodeau that he's a good coach, we should have no problem beating these top teams in the East.
Okay, hey, before you go any further, because I don't know where Freezy is at, but he always say, saying, hold up, take your time, say one thing so we can elaborate on it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess what you're saying is, you saying that Julius is not a number 1, which some of us do agree with that, and RJ is really not a number 1. So those guys will be able to fall back into their normal slots, which might be a 2 and a 3. You know what I'm saying, on this team, and that Donovan be the number 1. That's what you're saying.
Exactly, because Julius will be comfortable. RJ will be comfortable. We've been trying to make RJ a number 1 position. RJ's not a number 1, man. We've been forcing it. He's been in the starting lineup from the beginning. And if you guys really look at it, if you're honest with yourself, everything with RJ has been forced.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one more question to you, all right? Just the last question I'm going to ask you. What do you think the difference would be for Julius relinquishing, the number 1 option to Donovan compared to what the Kimba thing is? I just want to see where you at.
You're saying what would be the difference between him allowing Mitchell to be number one instead of Kemba?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, Julius didn't respect Kemba. I don't know if he would respect Donovan, but I think management has been in Julius' ear for some time now, because when they went to that game in Dallas, I think they had talked to Julius and told him what the plan was. That's why I think they were all in Dallas, and I believe they had a conversation with Julius. So Julius has a choice. He either get on board with the plan or he's out of here. Yep. And I don't think he wants to be out of here. Yep. He wants to be the man, but he can't handle the pressure. So I think they have they've had a conversation with him to let him know, hey, this is the plan. We're going to have you three guys together. You don't have to be the man now. So I think Julius will fall in line because management has spoken to him about this, and it will work out for the better. Because other than that, he either shape up or they shipping him out. I think he knows.
Yep. 100% agree.
I salute you 100%, my brother. You know what I'm saying? For you coming up and hanging out on the show, continue on coming back. You know what I'm saying? And I like to see a lot of more people like you that put super chats inside, you know what I'm saying, for the show, come up here, you know what I'm saying, and rock and say what they got to say, man. So don't be no stranger, my guy. Oh, come on up, you know what I'm saying, and rock, you know what I'm saying? Those are good takes, man. Danny Landis, plain boss.
Hey man, them dudes from Jersey City are smart, bro. Them dudes from Jersey City are thoughtful, bro.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Freezy, quick question, Freezy.
Yo, what's up, boss?
Do you think these talks are over? You think they're going to continue to talk about this trade?
I think that personally, I think the Donovan Mitchell trade to the Knicks is imminent. Right, it's imminent, but it's just like you know, anytime you in a negotiating thing, you establish a framework. Both sides agree to the framework, and then it's the stuff in between.
I gotta take a note for these.
Okay.
Because they asked for a lot. They asked what, 4 players, right?
Yeah. It's so I think it's one of those deals. It's like, okay, it's 4 first round picks, right? Or 5 first round picks.
5.
So what years are we giving you these picks? They're like, yeah, I want all your 2023 picks. Nick's like, nah, we're not doing we're not giving you all the 2023 picks. Right. And so it's like negotiation on that, but not the framework.
Oh,
I think the framework is agreed to already.
They won 6 first round pick. They also won Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Grimes, Deuce. Grimes,
that's a
Deuce,
lot, bro.
And 6 round pick.
How would you guys feel if this trade don't take place?
No, it's going to take place. They
you
still
think it's going to happen?
It's going to happen, but the only thing is that they negotiating is pretty much just down on the picks and at least 1 or 2 on the players that we're going to actually send. Like,
but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, if it's going to be youth players, it's going to be 2. But I still feel like Knicks is the Knicks organization is still trying to force Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose or something in between, so that money wise it will make sense, but they still get at least a couple youth and the picks that they want. But it's not going to be 6 pick. Like, that's crazy. 6 pick and 4 youth player.
Yeah. So, but to answer to your, let me answer your question though, because the original question was how would we feel if the trade didn't take place, right? That's the question, right?
Yes.
I would feel dejected and let down. I would feel like I'm at the point where I would turn on this front office and come on here every day and say, get them out of here.
Damn.
Right. And here's why. There were opportunities all along the way to pick up to make the major move all along the way, and we turned down those major moves. Like, we turned down the DeJounte Murray deal, right? We didn't draft guys high in the draft, right? We didn't chase Zach LaVine, right? We didn't do a lot of stuff because we figured Donovan Mitchell is our guy.
right? Now, with that said, if we turn down all that stuff and we didn't get the guy that we wanted, what are these dudes actually doing here? And in my mind, listen. I'm at a good place as a Knicks fan right now. I'm at a good place. You know what I'm saying? As a Knicks fan, we went out and got a point guard. The young guys look like they're going to be something. We got a lot of draft picks. So there's a lot of good mojo going on right now. Now, how you can kill that good mojo, right? And turn Knicks fans like myself against this front office is remind me of the fiasco that happened last year by not making a major improvement to that whack roster that we had last year. And then plus, you don't go out and get a guy that gives me hope for the future. So you remind me of the past and you tell me the future's not bright, and yet you want me to rock with you. No, I can't. I just can't do it, bro. I just can't. Snyder, I just can't do it. I just can't rock with it, bro. It'll frustrate me.
But in a sense, don't you think they have to have somewhat a stern stand where they have to walk away if they answer too much?
Yeah, that's too much, Freezy.
If they walk away, what's next?
I'm not even. I was going to say. First off, let me just say what's up to everybody. The chat. Nice.
What's up, Ron? Salute.
Danny, Hardwill, Chilltown. Nice to see you up here. Chop Low, Black Customs. The chat. Everybody.
Snyder High is in the building.
I was just going to say. But what happens, Freezy? Look, sometimes it may not be up to us. What if Danny Ainge? Look, we know Danny Ainge is trying to push the narrative to get whatever the hell he wants. He's a good negotiator.
Yeah.
But what if he gets to the point where, Leon is tired of this? Leon's like, let's make it happen. We're giving you a really good offer. What we wanted to give you, you didn't like. You came back with a crazy offer. We're meeting you in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you're still not being receptive. Maybe Leon is like, I want to get this done or let's move on.
Yeah.
And, Danny turns him off. Is it Leon's fault if Danny is being too shrewd and he's overplaying his hand?
Right. So first of all, let me clarify. Right. The question was, how would I feel?
Gotcha.
If the deal didn't get done. Right. Chilltown. That's what you asked, right? How would I feel?
Yes.
If this deal didn't get done.
Yes.
Right. So I answered his question directly by telling him, respecting the question that I was asked, how I would feel. Right. Feeling is an emotion. Right. Right. Now, if you're asking me to be analytical about the trade and talent acquisition process, that's something separate.
Okay.
Right. Right. And so I'm separating those two. He asked me about my feeling. I answered to him how I would feel. Now, if he asked me what my thoughts were, then I would be more in line with the response that Ron just gave. Right. But this is not a feeling, any thought thing. I don't want to muddy the waters about the direct question that was asked, because it's a very smart question. And as a matter of fact, it's a question questions like that is what you can take and build a 3-hour show around, right? Not the analytics, right? Not the projections and trending and stats and analytics. Your feeling. That's separate, right? And so Jersey City, listen, I know sometimes, we ask a question and sometimes we answer the question with the answer that we wanted to say to something else. I don't do that. I want to respectfully answer these things the way that they're posed to me, so that you can get the rawest, trimmed down answer to the question that you asked, because I feel like it's going to lead to something else, right? And if that question is leading to something else, I'm ready for that one too, right? But what I'm saying is, if you just ask me just on the basis of what that question is, I will feel dejected and let down. And for multiple reasons, not because they failed to do that trade, but because every front office, the previous 5 front offices came in and said the same thing. Hey, we're just gonna go get a disgruntled star from such and such place, and the previous 4 regimes let us down, and then this 5th regime come in, kicks the can down the road, kicks the can down the road, kicks the can down the road, and then they let us down. So my feeling of dejection is not them being inept, but it's the same old Knicks.
Gotcha.
Right.
Y'all always feed me the same thing. It's the same old Knicks. And it gets me in a mindset. It gets into my feelings like superstars just don't want to come here. So now I start thinking about, in my feelings, thinking about the LeBron James 2020 decision, where he did a press conference 35 minutes away from Madison Square Garden to say he was going to Miami. Michael Jordan caught in the airport in New York with the Knicks. The Knicks offered Michael Jordan more money in 1996 to become a Knick than the Chicago Bulls offered him. And in the airport in New York, he was like, yeah, I never really considered the Knicks strongly, but they offered so much money, I had to think about it, but I'm a Chicago Bull. My family, I'm loyal. All that stuff Michael Jordan said in an airport in New York, right? And you fast forward, all that hurt, all those hurt feelings from superstars turning us down and not coming here over the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Y'all remember Jersey City? You remember when Kareem wanted to leave Milwaukee and he went to the commissioner, he went to the Bucks and said, trade me to New York?
But then
the commissioner,
the NBA stopped that shit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the NBA knowing if Jabbar had if Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have went to the Knicks, who had made the finals 3 out of the I said 3 and put up 4 fingers. Y'all know what I mean. It's 3 out of the last 4 years. Remember, the Knicks went, they won. Oh, let me start the 5-year window. They lost to Boston, and Boston escaped by the skin of their teeth. Boston knew the Knicks was the better team. They knew it. And they escaped from us in 68, 69. They wiggled off the hook, right, and got away from us, right? And they went on and they won the title. We used to win the title that year, but we were too young and they were too veteran, right?
Yeah.
The next year we won the championship, right? That should have been 2 in a row for us. The next year injuries caught up with us. And look, listen, the injury bug knock out everybody. Ain't nothing you can do about injuries. The year after that, we go to the finals and we lose to the Lakers. Right? Might have been one of the greatest teams ever assembled, that Lakers team, right? The next year, we beat the Lakers. So you're talking about a 5 or 6 year window where the Knicks could have been the champion every year. Right? And then you add, think about this. You add a league MVP who tired of being in Milwaukee. He just converted to Islam, wanted to be in New York, right? You add Kareem to that team.
Nasty.
We win the next 7 to 8 championships, but we don't get that guy, right? We don't get that guy. We don't get the sneaky Larry Bird thing. Y'all remember when Boston wouldn't pay Larry Bird? They wouldn't pay Larry Bird because they paid I forget the guy with the mustache and beard, and he wound up being nothing. They paid him and he was trash. What's the name, brother, from the Bulls? Paxton. Y'all remember Jim Paxton used to play shooting guard for the Portland Trailblazers? He used to make the All-Star team. And then they signed him and didn't pay Bird, right? And Bird was going to leave. He was like, yo, my 2 teams, the teams I'm considering are New York and Indiana. And overnight, the commissioner comes up with a rule that teams can sign a guy. Right now, y'all hear it. Y'all hear it as a thing called bird rights. That rule was made up over. Larry Bird said that at 5 o'clock, by 9 o'clock p.m., that rule was in place.
Wow.
Every team in the league agreed to it except the Knicks.
Wow.
Right? Because they had to try to keep star players in their cities. Because if you just let stars move around willy-nilly, go wherever they want, you wouldn't be able to keep guys from going to New York. Right? And then so all these different things, and then see all of this heartache is feeling That's why when Jersey City asked me how I would feel about that, is one thing, right? But a smart, analytical person that's thoughtful would think about it something else, would think about it the way that Ron said it. But since he tapped into an emotion, I had to tell him how I was feeling emotionally. Now, I know that sounds like me going off the rails, but listen, all people are different. I can think this thing. I can analyze these things for days, right? But when you ask me about my feelings are Uncle Freezy's. See, I can think analytically based off of information that I get from sources like the internet and websites and all that stuff. Think analytically about this thing that I can get from newspapers and reporting and sourcing and all that stuff. I can think that because there are sources. But when you ask about Uncle Freezy, I can only be myself. That's it. That's why the question to me was fascinating. I was sitting here legit about to pee in my clothes while Nice was answering because I was like, oh, I can't wait till it's my turn because I wanted to answer this question. Because sometimes the questions will be so good, bro, that like the direct question, like, hey, what's your feeling on this? It's not what's your perceived whatever, and what is how do you feel about it?
I see your point, Freezy.
Your personal feeling. I get
I
you.
see your point.
Yeah.
I
But
got you,
let me
Freezy.
just say my personal feeling is Ron is an analytical thinker. So I personally feel the way I think. So when you ask me that same question, I'm gonna give you my perception of it in my analytical way of thinking. I apologize for some people. People used to say when I was young, man, why you talk that way? Why you use this? How do you know how to spell metamorphosis at 2 years old? Listen, it is what it is, man. I am who I am.
Right.
But I hear you, Freezy, because you took the words out of my mouth. When you said that, I was going to give you my opinion about how I really feel about it. When you brought up Jordan, when you brought up LeBron, I was going to throw KD in there, Kyrie in there. That is how I'm actually desensitized to it all because we never get the guy that we think we're going to get. Even when everybody's like, yeah, it's 95%, 97%. I heard from Bob down the street who lives, he's LeBron's gardener. Listen, it never happened. So I'm with you, though. I hear you.
Right. And so
That's why it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah, that was a great question, bro. And listen, I'm sorry if I hijacked the thing.
No,
But sometimes the reason why we have this platform is so that we can ask these direct questions, so that we can do a deep dive about all this stuff in a place that's safe. That's what we can do with it. This is the place. So hey, Nice. My bad, bro. I wasn't trying to rush you, but I was just like, oh, I can't wait.
No, you good. Freezy, without you hijacking the show, where would we be, Freezy? We need that,
bad,
Freezy. The stories, everything, Freezy. That's what makes the show, bro. It can't just be always when it go left. Is sometimes somebody in the chat or on the panel may need that, and that's what people got to understand. Sometimes it don't have to be what you trying to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody else may need some kind words or something, whatever it may be. Go ahead, Nice. My bad.
And I was going to say that's why it's blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears.
Yeah, exactly. We all bleed different colors.
So for a question like feelings, man, the only thing is that for the last, just think about it this way, guys. For the last, I want to say like 10 or 20 years, man, we have been doo-doo in the business wise because we have gotten certain players that we wanted. They don't pan out or they don't take us as that far. So I'm in the mindset that look at the draft, the draft night this year. We wanted Jalen Ivey. They asked too much. If it was old Knicks, I'm telling you right now, if it was old general manager or front office, they would have gotten Jalen Ivey, gutted the team. Jalen Ivey may have not panned out, and we screw ourselves over for the next 3 to 5 years. So that's why I wanna have like a mentality like anything is doable. Like I even said it way before the Freezy show came up. You remember Freezy that we started at like we had a conversation. All right, which are the players that you want, and if it doesn't happen, what will be the next case? The next case. So I said Jalen Brunson, Ben Mathurin, and Johnny Davis. Those are my three guys. If they wasn't there, I do not care. just pull back. Let's get more picks and just call it a day. But that same day, you see how feelings get involved, because that same day I was hurt that we didn't got at least somebody.
And to get at least somebody.
Yeah, but even though I actually even said that I wanted Jalen Brunson, Ben Mather, and Johnny Davis, and it panned out that neither one of those three was available.
Right.
So we got to stay firm in what we want and how much are we willing to give, but at the same time be consistent that it doesn't screw us over, because remember on a draft pick, if it doesn't pan out, that could mess up your franchise for the next 3 to 4 years.
Right.
You're
You know
right.
what?
Well, I was just gonna say just real quick that sometimes we have to separate like the feeling, like the emotions from the way we think about stuff. Right? Because on draft night, the way we was thinking about what was happening in real time, like what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? And see, you could have got emotional right there. Like I was on the verge. I was just about to dive in, and then I was like, yeah, let's just see what they're doing.
I think we all was emotional that day.
But they were preparing themselves for this moment.
Exactly.
That's why I'm thinking, like, if this thing don't go through, I think I'm gonna be frustrated emotionally.
Yeah.
Because we got nice. This might be before your time a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Knicks was on the hunt for superstar free agents one summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a bunch of free agents, right? And the New York Knicks wind up signing the human eraser Marvin Webster. Right? Bro, all these guys available, guys from the ABA, guys from the NBA, all these, it's just randomly like all these guys come available. like and then we get I think David Thompson might have been available. And I know people don't know who David Thompson is. And listen, I'm not gonna get into David Thompson, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he might have been available, and he signed I think he was like the first millionaire in the NBA, right? And so the thing about it is all these guys are available, and the Knicks walked away with the human eraser, Marvin Webster. And so when y'all bring up like what happens if we don't get a guy, bro, it's this cycle of heartbreak all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It's like this. How they get David Thompson and we walk away with Marvin Webster?
Yeah.
How we end up with Jerome James?
But that's what I wanted to say. That's why I understand what Ron is saying. Like, because I'm the same way. Like, I try not to think it happened until it really happened, because we've been let down so many times with it. And I feel like even some Knicks fans get upset when you say what it really is about the team or certain players, even though you a Knicks fan yourself. They don't like when you say it, but you just calling it how it is. So it's like, yo, everybody got their own point of view, right? Some of us can tell you things that is going to make us better in reality, not in your own world, because you got to look around what's going on in the NBA. We so caught up in just Knicks fans and Knicks world that we just think, oh, we could win with that team. Oh, we didn't need Donovan Mitchell. That stuff ain't true. So we back to this point again right now where we saying that, we can't gloss over this type of player. Some people don't even want to talk about it until it happened, because we've been let down so much. And it's history here. It's dudes older than you. Some of these dudes could be your pop's age. And y'all over here saying, oh, no, we go what we got. No, it's time for them to bring real talent into Madison Square Garden, because the fan base and us, we so fast with basketball, but they haven't caught up in a while.
Now, I think that we need to give these guys time to cook. We talking about stuff that in the past that these guys have no control over. They didn't do those moves. From what I'm seeing, Leon Rose is a very educated dude, very smart, and he plans for the future. You just got to give him time to cook. He only been there 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I agree with you.
So you got time to cook. And if he has to walk away from a deal like this, and he has to walk away, he has to walk. That's what business is.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work out.
At what point do Blackout? At what point do you pull the trigger? Like Freezy said, we've been gearing up for this moment. Like there's been so much heartbreak throughout the decades with the Knicks. We never get that star player. Right now is the time. There is no turning back. There is no turning back. You got to pull the trigger. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we got to give up.
But
because at the end of the day, if they're doing their job, but they gotta bring in Spider.
Now it does matter. It does matter because you do not.
Let me tell you why it may not matter though, fam. Because of the strength of that. When you stockpiling picks, the picks that you saying is gonna guarantee a start, it don't guarantee that too. So sometimes you gotta know how to make a move because these type of players don't come available all the time. That's the thing when you gotta put in the point of in business, right? You hold your bread too long and don't do nothing right, and you had opportunities to get some of these players and you didn't. Now we're not saying we rushed you, but if they contract run out and they didn't bring nobody besides Brunson is their godson. Now we're not saying we expected it to happen so close. I was saying that I wanted them to get more talent because it should have been easy to get Brunson, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So I'm feeling like in order to compete and all these teams or have these type of players on their team, and we have a chance to get this type of player, what you holding a pick for? And we are in a position. Hold on, last point. I'm gonna give it right to you. We're in a position where we're not gonna fall in the draft to get the Scoot Hendersons or to get these type of players because of the talent that we already acquired and already have. We're not gonna sit players like OKC do to make us fall in the draft correctly because they're in the middle of win now and somewhat of a rebuild at the same time. That's why I like Brunson. I like Donovan Mitchell because he's young. So you got to pay attention to draft picks. If we're not gonna never fall in the right place to get a top pick, then that's a problem for me.
I don't even think that the draft pick is the problem with the New York Knicks.
Right.
It's pretty much the how do you saying the amount of numbers of players that they asking. Because just
Yeah,
think
but we
about
got
it.
players caught in position too. Nice.
No, I got you. But just think about it this way: if it's a quickly and Deuce, I'll do it. If it's a Obi and Deuce or Grimes, I'll do it. If it's a RJ alone with the picks, I'll do it. But you cannot.
But negotiations.
But
hold on, let me hear his last point.
But listen to this: you cannot ask for a trade that you want the 6 pick, you want RJ, you want an IQ, you want Obi, you want Grimes. I'm not saying that they superstar, but those are key players. So just try to keep the most that you can on key players because draft pick, we all agree we don't care about the draft picks. You know who actually cares about the draft picks is Angie or whatever his name is. But at the same time, he just trying to get even more like that cherry on top. Like, bro, you wanted 2 scoop, I gave you 3 scoop, and you still asking for a cherry on top.
They flipping second round picks, Grimes, quick players like that. And I was going to ask you, out of the players you named, right, who you think is going to be a superstar out of the players that you named?
Neither one. But at the same time, those are key players. So think about it this way: if we look, just real quick, if we look the trajectory that the Jazz is going, they don't care about players. They just trying to do us dirty. They just want picks. Their main focus is picks. Nothing else is picks. So if we giving you what you want, plays is not the problem. But you're not going to fleece me on getting 4 key players when you could actually get just 2. Just settle with you because your main objective is getting the most draft pick. There's no other team.
Guys, we got to pay to play.
In that situation, you would have to do it. Because of the simple fact of you gambling on players that's caught in position that we don't even have room or figured out who or where or who gonna start. When you bring it in a player, you know you're gonna start. And somebody mentioned it earlier as far as leadership. Bringing in Donovan Mitchell is a player that they're not gonna second guess to go with or play behind or however that may play out. And somebody's made a good point with that earlier. That could have been a problem with RJ, Randall. Somebody coming in that's really a number 1 option, that changes all of that, and everybody. You know, so to keep saying that with these players that we're not even sure about because how Thibodeau played them, and we, you know, you starting Grimes, or we're not starting none of these players for sure yet. So when you have a player you know you're gonna start, that kind of nips all of that in the bud when you're trying to compete, when you don't know what these guys are gonna be. In business too, you have to make that move when you gambling on, you're betting on guys who aren't even proven to the person that's saying bet on them, because you saying they're not this and they're not that. But I wouldn't give up a few of them for somebody who's already proven. So that's what changes the odds, where it's better likely, hopefully, one of those players turn out to be something because it's three of them. You get what I'm trying to say?
No,
But
no,
what
I get you.
you're saying is you got to understand, in business, you don't bet on what can happen. You bet on what you have in your assets. That's business 101.
Yeah.
You do not bet on what can happen. You
So who's betting on what can happen? You are.
Hold on,
You
hold
saying
on,
that
hold on.
the picks is going, the players is going to be something. That Donovan Mitchell's already something.
Let me finish. In this point where we stand right here is the Knicks. We have all the assets. So we move accordingly to what we have. We don't move on what can happen in the future. So that's what Leon Rose is saying. You're not going to hold me. And then another thing you guys got to remember, Leon Rose used to be an agent in the NBA. You know how many of these dudes Leon Rose done held over a barrel?
Yeah.
Players? And you think Danny Ainge ain't going to try to push it right back on him?
And
I
that,
just want to make a reply to what he just said. If you saying in business, you going on players who are not more situated than the player we trying to bring in. So how can your last point you just made about business one-on-one saying that we betting on the future with like Donovan Mitchell, somebody that's already a 3-time All-Star, averaged 20 points.
No,
in business, they would pick him because he's already proven over the players that you saying we should keep.
But in business, you cannot bet on an asset that you do not have.
yeah.
You don't have him.
No. Hold on. If Utah is trying to move him because they going in a different direction than we're going, right?
No. We're trying to acquire an asset that they have by using our assets. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and the picks is part of it, right? The pick is worth more than the players in this situation to Ainge.
Hold on. Right. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm trying to tell you. If it was that, right, and the draft picks was so important, Danny Ainge wouldn't be trying to get players.
Exactly.
He's trying to hold us over a barrel.
Yeah,
but the players got to go in too to make the deal match, to make the deal go.
No,
because
because
to make the money work too.
Let me finish.
Oh my God.
Let me finish. And in business, right? When you're dealing with business, you have to deal with the assets you have in hand. You don't try to go and negotiate for something that you cannot get. If you cannot get it with the assets that you're willing to lose in business, you have to have a strong set to walk away. Another opportunity.
I see what you're saying. And that's not,
another opportunity will come. We have more draft picks. We have players. Another opportunity will come. And you have to be strong in business to walk away.
Who is that other opportunity? Is that other opportunity?
I don't see no other opportunity, but I do agree. But
not at this point. There might not be an opportunity right now. But in business,
years they got on their contract left?
Open up.
Can I say something real quick? So think about it this way. You also got to know what's the deal. Like you have 29 other teams. Utah Jazz has 29 other teams. We only talking about the Knicks, but remember one thing. There's no other team right now, without them including other teams, that is going to give them a better offer than the Knicks or Oklahoma. So Oklahoma is in the same predicament, but Oklahoma, they don't care about that because but let me finish. At least to explain this. Once you understand that there's not too many other suitors, not because they don't want Donovan Mitchell. We talking about picks. Danny Ainge, he wants pick. So if we got the picks, we gonna give you players, but we not gonna give you all the players. Now, if you won, you could try out in another scope because remember, trade negotiation never stopped. The conversation is still continuing, so it's looking like it's most likely it's gonna happen.
So what I was gonna say was nice. Why would you think they were stockpiling the picks? Nice. And another good question is, do you think Donovan Mitchell was on their radar before we even thought he was going to be available?
Way
This is for
before.
both of y'all that's trying to make a point here. I want to see where y'all feel about this.
What?
Way before.
Yeah, he could be on. He can be on your radar.
Hold on, I'm not finished. Hold on.
Listen. In
So
business,
if he's stacking picks, right? Hold on. I'm not finished.
Wait. Chill.
Right? If he's stacking picks and he was on a radar for Donovan, if our front office is stockpiling picks and he was on the radar, and you said we gonna have time to get somebody else, to me, that's the point we trying to make to you. All the years we haven't had nobody in here.
Yeah, but that's not with Leon Rose.
No. It's not always all about Leon Rose. Leon Rose only got a few more years. Hold on, listen. How many years do Leon Rose got?
Hold on. When have you been on a? When have you a Knicks fan? When have you ever seen a president trade a draft pick for more draft picks with the Knicks? Leon Rose is a genius, dude. Give him a chance to cook.
How many years do Leon Rose got left on his contract? I'm asking you.
He got 3.
He got 3, right? So if he don't get Spider, and you don't make
picks, we still can trade draft picks next year.
Picks again. You fell back to draft picks.
I know you
because it's business. At the
All right,
end of
fellas,
the day,
relax.
It's business.
Wait, hold on,
fellas, relax.
It's not one-sided, man. Business goes another way when you have to make a move, and you kept on not making a move in the past.
You getting caught up.
Now you let other people talk, guys.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
guys, chill. Wait,
people.
let Knicks fans talk.
Let me just say this real quick, and then let's see. I think Jay is here now. Let's get some other takes on what's going on. But let me just say this to what Hardwell and Blackout Customs is talking about. I understand where you're going, Blackout. If things ain't looking right, if the negotiation is breaking down at certain points, at some point you got to be able to walk away and understand that you might be able to get another deal somewhere else. I get it, but let me just say this real quick, guys, because other people are a little hesitant with Donovan, thinking he may not be the guy. And we'll get something some other time. Listen, we already know certain players that we all would have loved to have. Joker re-upped. Joker's going to be with Denver for another some odd years, right?
Yeah.
This is the 2023 free agent class. And of course, we could get players that are already on contract and trade for them. But look, we talking LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Chris Middleton, Kyrie Irving, Porzingis, Kevin Love, Andrew Wiggins, D'Angelo Russell, Al Horford, Vucevic, Barnes, Jeremy Grant, Miles Turner, Bogdanovich, Karis LeVert. Now, I'm saying this for you guys to understand. Maybe there might be 3 of those guys that you say, you like a Middleton, or maybe you even like Wiggins. But how many of those guys do you want on the Knicks?
And who better than Donovan Mitchell, Ron? Who better than Donovan Mitchell on that list you just read?
That's what I'm trying to
Let
say.
him finish.
That's what I'm trying to say, Hardwell. Donovan Mitchell is that next upper echelon of a star. Is he there yet? You can't compare him to the LeBrons, the Kyries, and the Durants or the Currys, right? But he's that next tier, right up underneath. Put him on the Knicks in a situation where he's got better players around him that can open up the game for him, and you might see Donovan's game go to the next level. You might see Donovan make RJ's and Randall's game go to the next level with the addition of Brunson. I'm just saying, sometimes when it's in your face, you got to go get it, and then you work off of it after that.
That's a fact.
Question I wanted to ask you guys:
You can go get it.
Do you think?
Wait.
He held
One at a time.
Hey, do you guys think Toronto would trade that championship? Masai Ujiri, whatever his name is, they pulled the trigger. They made the move. Do you think they regret making that move that they made?
No, not at all. They got a championship out of it.
So why should the Knicks, who have been in misery forever, be waiting and waiting and waiting? When I grew up, I was sold the fact that good things come to those who wait. But you know what I learned? That good things come to those who go out and get it. The Knicks have to go out and get their man. Nobody's coming here. We can't bank on RJ. There's people out there who would rather keep RJ than get Spider. Like, no, we got to get our man. Like
You
we
know
got to
that.
make the decision, and it's like Freezy said, we can have 1,000 draft picks, but it's about the person that you pick, not about having 1,000 draft picks, because we've proven we can get complementary players.
So
But we need that star now, and they need to pull the trigger.
Well,
And Woj broke a report saying that NBA players that we expected to leave already re-signed, and we stockpiling all these picks. Or it was Windhurst, one of them. Certain teams like the Knicks stockpile all these picks. They waiting for an opportunity to do something. And that's funny because he was already breaking, like how he knew the Rudy Gobert thing was about to happen around the same time when he said that. So in reference to what you just said, OG, you're right, because a lot of Booker, all the top players, Ron just did a whole list of players. None of those players is better than Donovan Mitchell. No. So when you look at that, you can't keep saying we're going to be all right. Just wait to bring in talent to compete. That's all I'm saying, to compete. And if we don't find, we did get Brunson, but we need another player like that to compete.
I just feel that we in the same predicament that Atlanta was with Spurs. So Spurs was asking a little bit more, and it got to the point that Atlanta at least reduced it to the picks. So it's a matter of time. Like
patience. We got to be patient.
We are gonna get.
We got to pay to play,
no,
man.
No. Listen to this. We gonna
Nobody's coming here.
No,
Nobody's coming.
But listen to this. Listen to
y'all
this.
sounding like gamblers.
Like we are gonna get Donovan Mitchell. To me, it's not no question about it. But the thing is like for draft pick, if you look at Oklahoma, the main reason they have all the draft pick in the world, it's not because they feel like whoever they're gonna pick is gonna be special. It's because one year they're gonna try to do the same thing that they did with KD, Harden, and Westbrook. And if it pans out, wow, now we got 3 superstars. Even though all of our other 7 picks didn't pan out, we got 3 superstars. Nobody know who's going to be the superstar in that draft pick. So that's why to them, draft pick is important, because the more draft pick you have, you can miss on 1, you can miss on 2. But if you get at least 1 out of those 6, it's gold. It's gold.
We drafted nobody though.
We got a definite with Mitchell. If they get 1 off of the pick, we got a definite. That's what I'm saying. How we arguing a player who's already a 3-time All-Star available to come on our team that we don't have nobody that's, you know what I'm saying? Like
plus Hall will, we all know this. If we get Donovan Mitchell and you add him to the Knicks team is going to be better. Will they be a championship team? That's another story. But they'll be better. And those picks that we giving up ain't going to be as good anymore. So it works out.
Yeah, that's the whole. And another thing, right? If they trying to win, which they are, then you have to understand why they making those type of moves. Thibodeau need more offensive players or more players that can help what he trying to do. It's not just about what we feel. They making that move for a reason, or trying to make that move. Why you think they even went for Murray? Now, I would agree more on that situation, because where Murray got drafted at, all the stuff that, that's different. But Donovan is somebody I think they had in mind. And if they did, and he comes available, it would make sense to go and spend a little bit more if you have to. That's like going to the car lot because you ain't got enough, or you ain't want to spend what they want for that big boy, and now you're gonna go and get the standard edition. Stop it. Or you're gonna wait 3 more years so you could move up. Stop it. Stop it. I'm busting out now.
Let me tell you something.
Right. Yo, is Jay here?
Go in the car. If you guys dealer, right? Go in the car dealer, right? And put your number up and be ready to walk out. And I guarantee when you walk out, he gonna call you back.
I like that.
Well, that's a fact too, though.
You guys will let me.
If you own cars already.
If you guys
I got 5, and every one of them I paid under market. I was ready to walk out.
That ain't necessarily.
What do you guys
when you talk about NBA front offices? Donovan Mitchell is not equatable to a car. Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star. Hold on, Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star before turning 26 years old. Right? Donovan Mitchell makes it. Right. But what I'm getting at is you have to gauge the market, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to. Because with all this stuff is said is done, you know what could also happen? Danny Ainge can walk away,
Right.
right, and say, you know what? You don't want to pay me what I want to receive, then we'll let your fan base judge you, right?
Well,
Yeah, and what he could also do is build around Donovan Mitchell or trade that asset to somebody in the conference. What it is the Knicks had the hammer, but they are slowly ceding that hammer, holding the hammer away to other entities like the Miami Heat that are stockpiling or trying to stockpile assets right now. Right? So because I understand the thing of if not Donovan Mitchell, just wait and see for another guy. But I heard this before, and nobody can tell me who the other guy is. Who is it?
Yeah, but I'm not saying we know who the. Just like in any business, right? When one opportunity closed, this is a famous saying. Another what?
Another opens.
Right, and that's business 101.
And they've been saying that saying for 50, 30 years now.
And see, again, that's buzzwords too.
But
That's buzzwords too. Because the thing is, because I also was told that when opportunity knock, you better answer.
Right,
but you better jump on it.
Yeah. When opportunity knock, you better answer because you don't know when that time is ever gonna come again.
I hope
But can I say,
and this dude get hurt or something, he can't recuperate from that.
Oh,
we don't want to jinx nothing yet. No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Because what happens? Because
that burner account.
Yeah, you say that. But y'all chill out. Just let me say this. So you say, what if Donovan Mitchell gets hurt? Right? What if your assets get hurt?
Right, but listen, we're sitting.
What if your assets get hurt and now your assets have rotted on the vine?
Going to get hurt.
Blackout. Hold on. Don't make me mute you, bro. I'll be wanting to hear you, but you got to let other people talk. Like we listen to you. We listen to you and let you cook. But when other people cook, bro, you got to give us time to say something, right? And I ain't trying to meet that in a disrespectful way, but I be wanting to listen to what you say, right? But in fairness to others, listen to the conversation. They be wanting to hear what everybody else got too, right?
Sorry,
sir. What I'm saying is this. Blackout. What I'm saying is this. If we use a hypothetical for one, you can't not use a hypothetical for the other because you sound hypocritical. If you say, what if Donovan Mitchell gets hurt, right? What happens then? But then you don't say, what if Grimes, McBride, RJ, Obi, all them guys, what if they get hurt? It makes it sound like you're Henny Penny saying the sky is falling, right? I respect your opinion more than that because I know that's not what you're trying to get at, right? But what I will say to you is this. Say, for instance, you're right about time isn't of the essence. Maybe we can take our time. All I'm asking you, if you say that, is explain to me what I'm waiting on. Can you explain that to me? Blackout, explain that to us. If we can wait,
you can wait. Wait, because first of all, next year's draft class is better.
Okay.
And Kawhi opens up on a free agent next year.
Okay.
So there is stuff that will open up.
He said Kawhi. Wow, I'm done.
Kawhi ain't coming here.
After you fighting for them boys, the young boys.
If you guys will let me, I'd like to paint a picture for you guys.
So Kawhi is a big joke.
No, that's not.
So we don't have the assets to go.
He's a star, but
fellas, if you let me, I like
you
to throw
saying
my
no
2
to
cents in
Donovan
here.
Mitchell and you say Kawhi, bro. Like we still trying to build.
I'm saying what I said. See, what y'all trying to do is put words in what I said. I didn't say that. I said Leon Rose at the end of the day is a genius. He's a businessman.
Yeah,
right.
He's not.
I agree with that.
Just like I let y'all cook. Can I cook?
Yes, sir. Right. I agree with you though.
But here's the thing, though. But here's the thing, Blackout. You did just say 2 minutes ago that the next year's draft is better and Kawhi Leonard is a free agent. You did just say that, right?
Just say that. I said that in case you have to walk away.
Right.
That's why I said
it, bro.
that.
Right, but
Because when I said walk away, y'all was asking me walk away for what. So now I throw that out there. Y'all laughing at me.
But we
no,
never.
no. I didn't. No, I said what I said was this. What I said was this. If you're telling me to wait, tell me what I'm waiting on. That's what I said.
You don't listen. You're waiting because you have the keys in your hand. You're the one that's on the top in the negotiation. When you ever been on the top in the negotiation and they flip the script on you and you give out more than what you're supposed to? You're not supposed to.
And not only that, I see it this way. Like after the Knicks pulled out, you didn't heard the Utah Jazz saying that, well, if it's not gonna happen our way, we're gonna stop our conversation. They're still in conversation, guys. We acting like that's the last straw. Like,
yeah, because in negotiate they want too much, but we still negotiating. So we gotta, you know what I'm saying? If anything else fails, we have to have you know what I mean? I understand both.
But listen to this. If your degree is in business, like business management, they always do this. They always give you the highest crazy amount out there. That's the first one. So that whatever comes next, at least it could come close to it.
Right, and if you're a fool, you're gonna bite the bullet first.
So let me say this. Let me just say something real quick. So for one, with the business degree, y'all don't have to tell me how business works. I already know that. Right. For one, I already been to school for this. Y'all don't have to tell me this. I got 30 years in the game. Right. About the business thing. Everybody's approach to business isn't the same. That's why you create business models based on who you are and your place in the market, right? Every line of business does not operate the same. That's why you create lines of business. Everybody don't operate the same.
Right.
So if y'all got a point that y'all want to make, just say your point.
Well, I think the point is, I'm gonna just say, sorry, and I don't mean to cut you. I think the point is because the fans, everybody, we always say this, Dad. We arguing. I hear y'all. Remember, I just came back. I don't even know what's going on. I want to make sure everybody's good. It's a beautiful Friday, but I think we don't know the negotiating.
What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is
negotiating. But let me just say this, Freezy. Negotiating is very tricky. We don't know the ins and outs because, like you said, you're a businessman. So two corporations or two entities negotiating on assets.
You don't have to tell me what business is, bro.
But the fans probably don't know that, so everybody's all kind of.
But you just did what I said. You don't have to tell me what to do. You're telling me how a business operates, maybe from your business perspective, but every business does not operate the same way.
Right,
Freezy, but it's not only directed.
Yo, you gonna tell me Pepsi operate like McDonald's?
No, but when I say
you gonna tell me Nike operate like a deli meat company? No, they don't.
Or like Uggs.
All right. Operates. That's what I'm saying, bro. If you got a point, just get to your point, man. The whole like belittling people because they may not know thing is not what we want to do. If you got a point, just say it.
Yeah, but you know what? It's summertime. Everybody outside. Freezy. You already established this. We running this all day, or not all day, but you giving the fans, the people, and I gotta God bless and salute these guys. Come in here, everybody chopping up. They just debating, talking. That's what they do, man. Understand that.
If y'all will let me, I'd like to throw my
ask a question to the panel.
Hey, let's let Jay.
But relax, you guys gotta relax.
Jay ain't get to say nothing yet. Let's let Jay jump in here, and then we'll just go around the horn.
Before the draft, the rumor of DeJounte Murray came out, and that was Atlanta and the Knicks. When the trade was done, Ian Begley came out and said the Knicks didn't really put an offer out there.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now Leon Rose did his homework, what the floor would be to trade for an all-star guard. In his mindset, I believe Donovan Mitchell has always been in Leon Rose's eyes. Yep. Now that he had a deal that was done, for Donovan Mitchell, Leon Rose is going in there knowing what's the minimum I can offer to get this guy? That's how conversation starts. Danny Ainge has his price. Now Leon Rose knows what he has to give. So they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. But saying that, I do not see who is competing with the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell. That's the tricky
100%.
part. Because any other team that was willing to give up the amount of assets to get Donovan Mitchell don't have what the Knicks have, which
Yep.
is the guarantee that Donovan would re-sign with the Knicks after those 2 or 3 years. That's another part in the Knicks' hand that could help benefit them in negotiations. With that being said, if Leon Rose does not close this deal, yes, I would be very disappointed because I do feel like this deal, it's on his lap to complete.
Okay.
I totally agree.
Facts. Dope take.
Facts.
And
So
with that
guys,
being said, the dude from the Utah beat reporter from the Athletic came out today. I guess this ESPN 700 out in Utah, and he said pretty much Danny Ainge is asking for at least 6 of the 8 picks that the Knicks have. Which combination it is, I don't know,
Yeah.
but he wants at least 6, and he wants Obi, Deuce, IQ, and Grimes. He wants young, impact, cheap players. And the guy said RJ is off the table, and apparently Cam Reddish is off the table because Danny Ainge does not want to pay these guys.
Yeah.
And he brought it back to his days in Boston. He said every trade that Danny Ainge does that is like this, he never targets the young players. He wants the draft picks. So
so
if
if they
you
don't pull
can
the
leave
trigger,
this trade with RJ and with Cam, I'm asking you guys, where's the middle
Six,
ground and where do you do it?
6 and half of our assets. I don't like it.
I'll
I
give
But
don't
him.
like it at
again,
all either.
going back to what I said, Leon Rose did his homework.
Yeah.
He saw what that trade to Atlanta was. He changed 11 to 3 first. So
Mm-hmm.
he gave himself more ammo.
Yeah.
And at that time, we did not know what the hell what he was doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, fast forward again, Danny Ainge waited till we got our expiring contracts off our books, right?
Hmm.
So now, once those expiring contracts went to Detroit, now Danny Ainge is like, yeah, I want these young guys that are cheap and controllable.
Yeah.
So now that it looks like you can keep RJ and Cam, what are you guys willing to give up between what was offered and what eventually the Knicks are willing to give?
And I'm just gonna say this, Jay. If they actually get IQ, Obi, Grimes, and
Where's this
Deuce,
guy at? Sorry
they
for the noise.
they are not actually looking forward to keeping them. They actually looking forward to trade him further
Yeah.
down the line as well. It's getting more acid because they also know that those players that they asking for, they got to get paid either next year or by 2 years from now. So they not looking for that, but they just want more ammo to trade for other package. And I don't have a problem getting rid of any player right now, but it has to make sense. Like if IQ leaves, all right, give him Deuce or give him Grimes. If OB leaves, Deuce or Grimes. But OB and quickly and Deuce and Grimes, that's to me with 6 pick. And we talking about you
And
guys wanting
6.
6 pick, at least get two
To
players.
understand what those 6 picks mean, it could be 3 unprotected from the Knicks
Yeah,
and 3 other picks from anybody else that you got. Or it could be, guess what? Next year we got 2 picks. We might as well keep the Dallas picks. You can keep the Knicks unprotected, but guess what? You still have a pick next year.
yeah.
So
Why
let's
does the
not jump
glass
out the
sneezing?
window not understanding what they're asking for.
We
You
got
have ways to move
But that's
around.
4 players and 6 picks. 4
Yeah, but there's no
assets.
guarantee any of those 4 players, even combined, will add up to Donovan Mitchell or the gravity that he can bring.
yeah.
Because again, if you go into free agency next year,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna sell somebody on a 26-year-old Donovan Mitchell who yet hasn't hit his prime. Come play with the Knicks with Brunson and Mitchell. Or
Back.
hey, listen, maybe RG's gonna get there.
Who's
Do you
that,
want to come to
John?
the Knicks?
Who's
Yeah,
that,
somebody in the
John?
background. But that's our basically that's like our bench.
Oh, that's Jay.
Quickly,
Okay.
quickly, OB,
OB, Grimes, and
Grimes,
Deuce.
and McBride.
Back out.
Okay, and guess what?
And 6 picks.
There's a reason certain guys are still unsigned right now. Would you be? We complain that OB gets 15 to 20 minutes behind Julius Randle. If Julius Randle stays, would you complain 15 to 20 minutes from Carmelo being a backup four?
Yeah. I just
There's
I
ways
don't like it
around
at
it, but
all.
there's no ways around not getting the star.
Are those guys replaceable?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Do
Yeah.
we have a star on our team now?
Nope.
No.
So I say go get them.
All right. There's a question though. You said they're
That's a high
replaceable.
price.
You said they're replaceable, right? After we make the trade, how will we replace them? If we
Same way
give
you
them all
found
the
them in the
assets.
draft. You will still have draft picks. There's free agency still.
They have
There's the
proven.
So
buyout
that means,
market.
so
There's
that
the
means,
buyout market.
that means we give them everything, right? We get Donovan. We still got to wait 2 years to get another draft pick. So why
Nah,
don't we just
we
wait
already
for the
have
draft?
we got 5 draft picks next year, if I'm
All
not
right.
mistaken.
So we still got to wait till the draft next year. It's
Guess
not
Next year
what?
moving
has
the
already.
needle.
Guess what?
If we give
Brooklyn
up,
gave away everything they had, and they still had Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, and all these guys come through the buyout market.
it's a
Goran
whole.
Dragic came to play backup point guard minutes. There's
It's
always
a,
Listen,
ways. Andre Drummond came for minimums. There's ways around it. A year
there's
later, you'll
ways
be
to
better. You can use your draft picks, but you can't always
Hey,
be
yo,
starting
listen, just like
strong.
he was saying, he says Leon is a genius. I think Leon is a genius, and I think Leon ain't gonna go for that. And I think there's other negotiations and things in the
right.
workings where something might happen we don't even know about, where we don't give up so much assets. We might give up a lot of picks,
Chill,
but not all
Could
of
be,
our
yeah. You never
assets,
know.
right?
I
Showtown,
trust
Showtown, and think,
Leon to negotiate.
but
I'll let
Showtown.
him have that. But what I'm saying to you
I'm just
guys is,
trying to understand
I'll
where
take
you
Carmelo
guys
back.
say.
I'm
I
not.
don't understand what you guys say. You want to keep RJ, but then now that it looks like RJ's keeping, you being able to keep RJ. Now we're shelling out too many picks. For one, you don't know
No,
where
they
these
No,
said
picks
the
are
picks,
gonna
players.
the
land.
picks
They
is
said
okay.
players, Jay. They said
The
players, but
I said
they
players.
still
The
don't make
picks is
sense
okay.
either, Jay.
Listen, the picks is okay. If we miss out on whoever was drafted in 2023, 2024, whatever, okay. And
Wow.
I want to say this because Ms. Geraldine said this is the only opportunity right now to get a star. We have this opportunity to get a star. 3-time
So
All-Star before he's 26. We need this boy. So I'm just saying.
Okay,
But all the assets, the players
will Quentin
wise.
Grimes ever come anywhere close to Donovan Mitchell?
No, but he was just
Okay,
saying they want a veteran too, so we
all
could
right,
give
but
them Fournier or a vet
you're
and
able
all
to
the
find
picks.
you're able. There's still unsigned guys.
But what
You're
I'm
able to
saying,
fill in the roster still. And
right?
this is not a 1 year thing. This is not okay. The next pack it up and go
Yeah,
home.
obviously.
I thought in
These guys
business
are
we don't do
25
what
years
if.
old. We're gonna have the next 5, 7, 8 years with them.
Guys,
Exactly.
but the
All right, go
conversation
ahead.
is still not over. Like, remember,
It won't be.
the only let's say if another team is able to match the same thing with the Knicks, is only if they combine it with a 3-team deal. And guess what? Any age is looking at it like, yeah, but can we just do that with the Knicks as well? We could also include a 3-team deal, getting the Knicks what they want, but we still benefit from the Knicks 6th draft pick. They only
I would just read what these guys put out and read exactly what they're right, because Leon Rose is not dumb, right?
He's
He's not
not.
a
But
spring chicken. He's been in the
when
business
Shams
for
came
years.
out and said that Danny Ainge is focused on just dealing with New York, he knows that the best package is going to come from New York.
From New York, exactly.
He's not going to put out and say, "Oh, let's have a bidding war for Donovan Mitchell." No one's going to bid
And
for him.
Leon Rose been in the business and dealt with him for years. He knows how
Listen,
to deal with these people.
And
but
one
listen,
thing y'all keep forgetting, there's bad blood between Pat Riley and Danny Ainge. Let's not forget that.
So
There's
so
bad
Ainge
blood.
gonna be spiteful, don't even send him to Miami. We're gonna get him.
Yeah.
That's it.
Leon needs to close the deal.
Pat Riley came out and basically said "F you" to Danny Ainge over the media. I forgot what it was.
yeah, hey, so Paris Douglas, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Douglas says, so SGA can't become available? Cat, Jimmy Butler? That's the question.
To answer that is simple. The same people that don't want to give up RJ is going to cost you RJ and probably 8 more draft picks to get those guys. So even if you wait, you don't know what type of superstars available, you're going to decimate your team even more.
Yeah. Yep.
Because the market is going up.
Yep. Now you can have Jalen Brunson at 25, not in his prime yet. Mitchell, 25, not in his prime yet. RJ,
What's up,
22,
Joe?
not even close. Uh,
But even
our big men, all our big men are signed, young, ready to
but
go.
but
Yo,
Jay, but just think about what I just said early. If Danny Ainge was so committed with the trade package that he wanted, he would have told Leon Rose straight out of the get-go, that's it. That's all I want. And if it's not that, it's no conversation. They still in conversation. So I have a feeling like Danny Ainge, he only came in with that ridiculous trade package so that, just like I said, so that whenever Leon Rose counter it, at least it comes close to it. Not with all that they was asking, but at least come close to it.
My gut feeling is telling me it's not about the picks; it's about the players that New York's want to keep.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably
Because you
somebody
don't
like
know
Cookies in there.
if later on down the line another guy becomes available. Guess what? They can use Julius money. They can use Cam if he's still here. They can use IQ or
Yeah.
Grimes if he's still
Yeah.
here. They
Yeah.
can use RJ if he's still here. There's still ways to build
To
and
maneuver
improve.
it. Yeah.
But one thing you cannot do is go into any type of negotiation with a big time player and say, "Hey, I don't have a Donovan Mitchell. Are you interested to be the first guy to come to New York in forever?"
Yeah, you
Change
got
the
to be willing to
conversation.
do.
You change the narrative.
So Jay, like we were saying, you got to be willing to
Now
do what you
that's
got to do,
Yeah,
right?
I would
Even
do
if it's
it.
going to cost a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
That's like one of them situations where, and that's the only point we was trying to make. That's like one of them situations where he just broke down is the reason why if we got to give up a little more or a player for that reason, because these players is not panning out already to be what he already proved to be, 20 points per year since he came in the league. Like he said, 3-time All-Star. So what's up,
There's
A?
one thing. Yeah, my bad. There's one thing I do know about. I heard you guys talking about business, and there's one thing I do know in the business of the NBA. Whoever trades for the stars usually win the damn deal,
Yeah.
right?
Right? Who won the trade? Right? They'd be like, who won in the
If
trade deal? Right?
we're not gonna win every trade we do. Leon
Yeah.
Rose has probably done a couple good trades, and we're like, yay! It's impossible to win every trade that you do.
Well,
But
Leon
one
Rose
thing
was
is for
part
sure:
of
if you
the Knicks
trade for a
gutting out for
star,
Melo.
if
And
you
Nick
trade
So,
for a star, more than likely that star is going to pay dividends for you,
and
and
this is rare.
that's the model of the NBA. So all these picks that you can get, God knows what they can become. I
Yeah.
know I'm getting a 25-year-old, 26-point game scorer. Period.
yes, Miss Geraldine said that. We need if
Yeah,
There's
yo,
no
salute
there's no
Anthony A in
reason
the
for
chat and,
Leon.
I mean in the panel and Eddie.
around. It don't happen every day.
I think there's
You know
no
what?
reason for Leon not to get a deal done when you kind of like Danny just showed his hand and it's picks. He doesn't want money. He doesn't want long-term contract. He doesn't. He wants young players on rookie control deals and he wants a load of picks. And that's what we have. So there's no reason for us not to be the front runners. So
Yeah.
some of these other teams now have to, like Miami, are scrambling now, trying looking at teams. OKC trying to make deals to maybe move Bam or move Hero to get more picks in to make a run. So the Knicks waiting out and trying getting the price down could cost them in the end, because in a month Miami could get enough of picks or have something lined up, or a 3 or a 4 teamer.
Joe, we have 11 picks though. We have 11, right? Don't we have 11 first rounds for how many years?
We can trade up to, you can trade 8 because the step-in rule. The step-in rule is only every second year you can trade your own pick. But we have other picks too that we can trade in between.
And don't we have rights for other people's picks, right? That's what it is. Some of them are.
We have 8 picks we can trade, 4 Knicks picks and 4 other teams picks.
Yeah, the way that works is that we have 11 picks over the next 7 years, but you can only trade picks up to 5 years out.
Yeah, so you
So
are
we
the
will have
11.
8 picks in the
We
next
can only trade four of the 7 Knicks picks out of the 11. We can only trade 4 of them because the step-in rule. But all the other picks that we have, we can move any of them at any time because they're not our picks. So that's
And
why.
That's why
we're.
Are we the most team with picks? I mean, are we the team with the most picks? Joe Madden.
Now OKC. OKC.
OKC, but it's close because OKC gave us 3 of their picks for 1. So I think they might have 2 or 3 more picks, but they're not going to go after Mitchell. They're already kind of. I'd be shocked if they go after. So when you're looking at what Inge wants, it's the Knicks, and the only way the Knicks don't get this deal done is if it's the Knicks themselves are going to stop the deal being done by either not pulling the trigger or waiting for the price to go down and letting some other team gather assets.
Right now, it'll be the
That's what I'm sure
23, 25, and 27 Knicks
Miami could move Bam and Tyler Hero and get 3 or 4 more picks, and then there you go. Now they have a boatload of picks. They have what we have. So you really
But they won't do that.
You can't wait on them.
Yeah, but I don't see.
You don't know what
I don't
Probably
see
could do
Miami.
anything.
Yeah, but I don't see
Wait,
Miami.
one at a time,
trading-
guys. One at a time.
No, go on ahead, bro.
I just do not see Miami trading Adebayo. Adebayo is a key player for them. It's like they want if they actually end up getting Donovan Mitchell, they want to see him paired up with Butler and Adebayo.
Right.
But then the trade's not possible then because they have to move Bam in somewhat to get the assets.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Joe. But what I'm saying is that it's like think about it this way. Whenever RJ is in the conversation of Donovan Mitchell, a lot of people look at it being ridiculous because they would like to see Donovan Mitchell play with RJ, and that's not a bad take. That's a good take, but at the same time, is the same predicament with Miami Heat. Like they don't want to lose Adebayo or Butler. They want to pair him up with Donovan Mitchell.
Or Tyler Hero.
No, they don't care about Tyler Hero.
Nah, they said Danny Ainge is
I don't know.
Tyler Hero. But
Yeah.
Danny Ainge wanted to draft Tyler Hero. So Danny Ainge wants Hero.
Nah, see the thing, that's why they don't want RJ because they're afraid of taking anybody back that's going to win too many games. That's why. Because they're looking at Victor Wembanyama. They want picks and picks only, and they're anything that's worth that they have that's going to win any sort of games, they're trying to get rid of. So that's why I think I wanted to see the Knicks dare Danny Ainge to go into next season with Donovan Mitchell because they're all in on trying to get into the top 3 in next year's draft, and that's not happening with Donovan Mitchell. So they know for them to get what they want and go into that complete rebuild, they have to move Donovan Mitchell before opening day.
Yep.
Or opening night.
Right.
So that's where the Knicks might have a bit of leverage. It might be like, you know what? Well, let's see how desperate they get to move him. But at the same time, Danny Ainge could say, you know what? Let me just sit him or wait. So
okay. Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, so keep our pick for 2023, and we get the second pick. Do we have more to offer then? How do our packages look then? Ainge is trying to get to where we at already.
Yep.
Which means, the Knicks have so many picks in next year's draft and one of the deepest drafts in about 15 years that it would benefit the Utah Jazz to get those picks out of that year, just like Paris Duggar said, in exchange for Donovan Mitchell. But if you're the Knicks, do you want to get completely out of that draft, right? That is the deepest in about 15 years when you can get a player out of that draft and have Donovan Mitchell, right? So it's like these type of things that you have to consider. Guys, listen, going forward, this is what I want y'all to consider, right? When y'all just say first round picks, when y'all just consider first round picks, how about framing what first round picks those are so the viewers and the people in the virtual chat can follow along?
Yeah.
Because saying willy-nilly first round picks makes no sense. Like saying 8 first round picks should do it. Right. But but just because you throw dollar bills at it don't mean that it's going to have the same value. Because a $1 bill and a $20 bill, though they are dollar bills, they have differing and varied values. Right? Now, we might not want to get into the minutia of everything, like saying, I want to get into the first round pick thing.
Minutia.
That first round pick of the Knicks should be more valuable than the first round pick of a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? Or at least it seems that way
from on the outside looking in.
In regards to picks, right now the Knicks can only trade 23, 25, and 27. And more
Their
than
own
likely,
picks.
more than likely, Danny Ainge is going to ask for them to be unprotected. So we'll see.
Right.
Maybe that's negotiation, but everything else is going to be everything else we acquired. So
Right. No doubt. No doubt. And we also have a plethora of second round picks that kind of get ignored. And this draft and the 2024 draft are going to be deep drafts. 2023 is deeper than 2024, but 2024 does have players in it.
Yeah.
Too. So it's something to consider.
let's just say the Knicks do give up their 23 pick. You can still have the Dallas 23 pick. You can have the Knicks 2024 pick. So it's not all gloomy where it's like, how can we restock, like get talent back? There's ways around it. You just got to do your homework.
Right. No doubt. Man, y'all sound all tuck it out, bro. Yeah. What's going on, man? Y'all sound all tuck it out. Y'all intimidated by Anthony D? Anthony D ain't gonna hurt nobody, bro.
Oh man!
Shout out to my guy AD. What's good, bro?
AD, what's good?
I've been known to lay him out. What's going on? Good afternoon, fellas. What's going on?
What's up, AD?
Yeah, man.
So how many on the panel wants to get Donovan Mitchell? And how many
Count
don't?
me as one.
I think we all want Donovan Mitchell.
I think it's the price that we're willing to pay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm with Blackout. I've been with Blackout. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've been with Blackout a lot of the morning. The only thing that I was, you know what I'm saying, that I had a little trepidation about is him coming across people's heads. You know what I'm saying? That was the only you know how they say it ain't the message, it's how you say it. That was my only, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. I get a little heated when I start talking about the Knicks, man. Sorry, guys.
Hey, Black, you've been great, bro. You've been great for the show, bro. You've been great. You know what I'm saying? That you don't. I don't want to get that thing twisted, man. You've been absolutely great for the conversation this morning, man. You know what I'm saying? And so was Jay. Has been great. The too, and Chilltown brought a different aspect to the game, where I think Chilltown is the one that actually threw the grenade in the room that kind of got people in their bag. You know what I'm saying? And then stood back and then watched everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sorry, AD. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just listening. But let me ask this question: as far as with compensation, will you guys be okay with giving up all that compensation if you can move off Randall and Fournier?
Yeah.
If you could somehow include one of those gentlemen's contracts in this deal, would you be happy with 6? Would you be good with giving up 6 first-round picks?
I don't think the problem is the picks. I think the problem people are having is the players.
Yes, indeed, it's the players. It's too much players.
Treat these players like it's a picnic. You know, you're about to give away all these ham sandwiches. It's fine. It's okay.
Right.
No mustard, no mayo. You about to give away all these ham sandwiches. That's fine.
Man. Yeah, that's hilarious. He talking about public school cold cut sandwiches. That's what we doing.
You know, I used to like the breakfast in school in the morning and the lunch. I used to like school lunch.
With that little cheap little mustard that they used to give you.
Oh my God!
That little cheap package mustard.
The little packet that you couldn't hardly
and
open.
That's no disrespect to any of these players on the team. That you can hardly open. You know, you had to go call Miss. No disrespect to any of these football players, because I like majority of them, but none of them is gonna be a superstar like this kid right here, who's 25 years old.
Right. 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 No doubt. No doubt. Hey, y'all. And so it seems
at the end of the day,
So he's saying throwing that extra ham sandwich if it take one. You know what I'm saying? If it take one more ham sandwich out the commissary, then that's what you got to give up.
Yeah, man.
But we giving turkey. We giving up some turkey sandwiches for some ham sandwiches, or no?
Chop, if you want to call it turkey chop, it's all good. We ain't gonna knock you for it, But
I like the lettuce, tomatoes, some salt and pepper on it.
All I'm saying is
ham and provolone.
If you trade away everything, when Donovan here and he ready to play, he might get hungry for a ham sandwich to help him out. And we need a ham sandwich there every now and then to help a guy out when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
At least it's not Noel's. At least it's not Noel's. That ham sandwich done fried out the window already. He's gone.
I mean, I think it would be a good balance of talent if you ask me. They're still young. They still young. And as far as the players that got to be moved, like I said, we're not sure where they're gonna play. This players stuck in position. I think that helps us out with a starter. And this box office.
I got a question. If we give away all these players, who's coming off the bench?
That's what I was saying. We giving up our bench. The young boys, that's good, right? So we might have to acquire other talent, I guess, whatever. But if we giving up all these players, but my whole question is, even if we give up all that and we get Donovan Mitchell, how you think Julius Randle can play with him? We know RJ might play with him accordingly.
Well, to answer
because who's the new man now?
Hey, hold on. Let me do the super chat first. So Paris Duggar, thank you for the generous contribution. Paris Duggar says, and then AD, we watch another supposed to be melt, and basically in the bright lights of New York City, right? And so to Blackout's question, yo, if you do all this stuff, what about your bench? I think that's the easiest part of the equation, bro. To be honest with you, I think that's the easiest part. Hey, y'all, listen. When somebody asks a question, just if they question whack, tell them they question whack. If you don't want to answer it, say I want to answer it. But sometimes, like I counted legit like 7 times a day. Somebody asked a question, then nobody even answered it. We just talked about what we wanted to talk about. Like just now, I think Blackout question was legit.
I'll happily answer
it. Is.
Like you legit trade away all this stuff.
I was trying to answer it, but chop me up.
As of right now, if the report is true, what they're saying about the Jazz don't want to pay next upcoming free agents, aka RJ and Cam Reddish. Right now, you have a bench of Derrick Rose, Cam Reddish, Hartenstein, and Sims just in case.
Right.
Money in free agency is dried up. All these guys more than likely going to get 1-year minimum contract deals. Guys that are still in the market. Shooters, you want to go get Freeze's favorite. What's your favorite? Ben McLemore you like?
I can go get Ben. Right, you could trade Grimes and go get Ben McLemore right
Kent
now.
Bazemore is still out there.
Yeah, you can go get Kent Bazemore.
Rodney Hood is still out there.
You can go get Solomon Hill right now.
There's this big man is out there still. What's this dude's name?
You see what Freezy's saying?
Harrell's still cheap out there.
I hear him all with.
You can go get John.
He's saying we could plug in for those guys' role and have a player we could really build around. We could give the ball to when we need to go to work, and then Randle, if he's still there, he should be able to play better with that.
Right. Have Carmelo go back up. Have Carmelo back up Randle.
Or you can go get Josh. You can go get Josh Jackson and Justice Winslow right now.
Mm-hmm.
I like Justice Winslow.
How can't
I like Montrezl Harrell.
Brunson and Donovan on the fast break? Come on,
bro.
Yo,
Tupac's back. Tupac's back.
Anybody that was trying to say no Donovan for whatever we got to give up, I don't want to see y'all with pom-poms game 6, man. I'm telling you. I'm going to be watching, bro. Because when he go to the Garden, it's going to be electric.
Yep.
So we haven't had nothing like that in a long time, bro. So it's like I was trying to say when I used examples of when you need something, sometimes you may have to pay a little bit more. That's what factors into the situation of doing what you got to do because somebody broke the stats of do you get a superstar or do the players that you give up do better? The superstar makes your franchise do better, or the star brings more. With the Garden and a star on his way to being a superstar, should be a no brainer, bro. Honestly.
Hey, and
And
who knows? A lot of people's in the get what they
I saw
wanted.
this, man, I
agree.
started laughing.
A lot of people's
When
gonna
I
get
saw,
what they wanted because
What?
Cam Reddish don't get 30 minutes off your bench now. He gonna be the Alec Burke role.
facts. Yeah, we're gonna need him. And that's another piece that's gonna develop and be good too. I think this gives RJ time to really develop better because he can see somebody how they do it and also he can do what he really can do. He can't do what he did last season trying to force shots and trying to prove who he is. That he can't handle that. That's not to me right. With better players on the court, he'll be able to learn and look better and be more efficient because when it's time for him to show up, he should show up. And that's for Randall and Brunson with the ball at the point of attack. With Mitch, you got to think about what you're going to get, like Freezy said, the pick and rolls, all type of stuff.
yeah, you
You
got
know
to
what I
take
mean?
into account more. You got to take into more into account than just names, man. You know what I'm saying?
And even if they want to stagger minutes, you have Donovan on the bench with Brunson, RJ, and Cam. That works. You have Brunson on the bench. You can have Rose or Donovan and RJ, or you can have
Yeah.
Donovan, RJ, and Cam. There's ways to work it. Let's
Okay.
figure it out.
It fits Tibbs too, to me. It fits with what they trying to do in Tibbs.
Yeah.
Now, if we
Hey,
had yeah, my bad.
let me just real quick, just with a super chat, man. I just want to address these just real quick. Kanye Pepper, thank you for the super chat. Kanye Pepper says Donovan Mitchell does not guarantee anything. Right. And we're assuming that Kanye Pepper says the acquisition of Donovan Mitchell by the Knicks doesn't guarantee anything.
Neither does RJ.
And neither does those other
Brunson.
players
Neither does
guarantee
Mitchell
anything.
Robinson. Neither does
Right.
Quickly. Neither does IQ. Neither
Yeah.
does Obi. We can go down the line.
Right.
And the Knicks is a money machine. People keep talking about it's gonna make us a certain way. People still was coming to see the Knicks when we wasn't going to the playoffs, bro. Like
sold out, right? Already,
yeah.
yeah.
So now we putting something on the floor for us to see, bro. Think about that. Like
Hardwell, but that's
and
my
Durant didn't guarantee nothing in Brooklyn, neither.
But that was my point, though, Hardwell. My point is when I go, I
right.
don't want to see trash.
Facts.
That's my point. That's what I have been saying. Like the tankers are like, yo, just tank this season, and then when you get the 2 pick, you'll do such and such.
But we've been tanking since been tanking.
Yeah, and our luck has been when we go into the lottery, the best player always go ahead of us. So now we want to tank and then watch the team ahead of us take the best player. Is that what we want to do?
That's what we've been doing.
Listen, the last thing I want to do is when Hardwell come to Atlanta to see his peoples, me, him, Chef, Stafford Don, right, everybody, when all of us get to suite in Atlanta, when we get to
Howard, you in Far Rock, you better come to Brooklyn and pick me up if you going. Take me with you.
I'll pass by and scoop you, chop.
But when we do it, but when we go to the
You better
playoff
come to
game,
Long
we be in the
Island.
suite. We don't want to be out there watching DJ Augustine start for us at point. We don't want to go out there. We don't want to go out there and see Courtney Lee starting for us as shooting guard, bro. We want to see a quality product because we're gonna be spending all that money on the trip, all that money on the hotel, all that money on the suite, all that money for merch. You probably gonna wind up spending $1,100, and we out there watching Emmanuel Mudiay.
Yeah, the atmosphere can't be the Garden atmosphere can't be better than the team, bro. Then you also got to understand that if we keep falling where we fall in the draft, bro, that's for a reason. You know that, right? Because they're not sitting us like other teams do to fall in the draft. I said that. So now that we can compete, they can rebuild and compete at the same time. or retool, however you want to call it. But
Yo,
at the same time,
that's a
that's what
fact.
they're doing because they don't care what we say. You know what I'm saying? Some people make patches sometimes, but they doing what they want to do. Tibbs got his job still, all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they trying to get talent that fits what they're trying to do. So
Right,
they're not
right,
trying
right.
to do
This is
it
another thing I want to get off my chest. We can't sit here and always talk about waiting and waiting and waiting. I remember a time when the Knicks fans didn't want Jimmy Butler, and they
They've been
said, "Nah, he's not good for the young guys." He go down to Miami. They've been to the finals twice. Last year we said we don't want DeMar DeRozan. This guy made All NBA. How
true.
long will we keep waiting for? All we keep saying is, "Oh, wait, we wait, develop." After a while, you just got to go get a star, and we got one that's 25 years old, and we still thinking about it.
Yo, Jay, check it out, Jay. After this, I bet you they ain't gonna feel that way no more.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
what
but you
Ben
know what the
said.
funny
They
thing
gonna feel that way
is
no
we
more.
always had players that always went somewhere else and they won a championship,
And that's the
all-star.
NBA. One guy alone can change
Yeah, I
a
know.
lot.
That's the thing.
A
The
lot.
fans have PTSD. We just
Yeah, hey,
you,
guys, listen, hey, Chop, I'm gonna end it right here, right? I'm gonna just snip this one right here. I'm gonna jump back on probably in like 3 or 4 hours. I gotta walk this dog, get some work done, and then. But listen, hey, Hard Will, y'all coming on tonight at 7, right?
Yeah, we might go on 7 or 8 around that time. So we gonna post up the show thing. So if I forgot what time you going on, so it don't bump, so it don't be around the same time.
No,
y'all can't do a joint venture.
Oh,
no, just not without planning. Not
of
without
course we
planning.
could.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to never do.
Sporadically.
Yeah, nah, you don't want to
Sporadically.
never do nothing about it flying by the seat of your pants, bro.
Oh,
Nah,
well, that's
but
yo. Listen, best
Freezy, if
business
you
come
coming back
out of
on at
nowhere.
5, whenever you finish, that's when we gonna go on. So if it stay on the 7 or 8, it don't matter. We gonna fall in like that. I appreciate you.
yeah,
Shout
man,
out to
I'm gonna try to come through too. But listen,
okay,
I'm gonna
cool.
end this
I'm
right
gonna
here
come
so I
through,
can go.
Harville.
Yeah, because
Cool.
our puppy in here pacing. I already know what that means.
Yo, shout out to
looking for a
everybody
spot.
on the panel. Yo, subscribe. It's For the Love of the Game with the number 4 first. If you're trying to figure out what's the show called, it's For the Love of the Game with the number 4. Look it up. Thanks, Freezy. Shout out to everybody on the
No
chat.
doubt.
Dope
No
show.
doubt.
Shout out to the whole chat. We see y'all later.
Yeah,
Peace.
man. Peace, y'all.